Columbus.
Joe, that ain't good enough. Come on, Joe.
Wait, no. Not this one.
Frizzle F tight, F fly, pass 37 punch, waggle, help, baby dizzy, X fan on the turbo.
Thank you, baby.
Football, man.
It's time to listen to a bald, fat loudmouth.
Mr. T-Bone.
And a former football player.
And that ball intercepted by Tyvis, pal.
Wow, no radio station has ever done that before.
Did it work for those people?
No, it never does. But it might work for us.
Welcome to T-Bone and Tyvis.
I think after yesterday's
show, people do understand that I am also a little bit of a loudmouth like T-Bone. I won't put that on my buddy Tyvis Powell over there, but I'm Matt Fontana back in for T-Bone this morning on T-Bone and Tyvis right here on The Fan. So happy to be with you this morning. Tyvis, good morning, man. How are things?
You know, things are going well, as you know. Remember, I teased you yesterday and was talking about how I'm getting my hair done today. And you'll see me tomorrow with the Ace Band. And so, for people that's in the YouTube chat, you're going to see me hatless for the first time in a long time today.
So I got to ask, so you have a hat on. You wear a hat all the time, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
If you see me 90% of the time, 95% of the time, you'll see me with a hat on.
How weird does it feel for you right now?
It's not bad.
Okay, I was gonna ask,
it's not bad at all.
Okay,
It's just,
all right, I'm good.
I do feel like I'm missing something.
Right.
But it's gonna be all right. I got to do this. I think they told me I couldn't wear a hat again for till Friday. So.
I was gonna say it didn't I've heard people say weeks. So okay, so Friday that's not too bad. Then that's not too bad.
Yeah.
Are you excited or are you nervous?
Both.
Yeah.
Both. Because it's I don't know. I feel like, is it gonna hurt? Is it not gonna hurt? Like they said, it's just gonna be some uncomfort. So I don't know. I'll tell you what. I will give you the play-by-play.
I'm excited. I'm happy for it, bro. I really am. I'm kind of intrigued. It's there's some people that it's a procedure. It is. It's not. It's still something that there are people that. You see get rolled in for stuff, and they're like, yep, take me on in. There's other people that get nervous about it. Did you have to have a lot of surgeries when you played? No,
I had 2 surgeries. I broke my wrist, and I had a sports hernia. But all of that happened while I was actually in college. I think I only had one thing done. They had to go on my wrist and take the screw out when I was with the Browns. Outside of that, though, that's it.
That's pretty lucky, man, for somebody that played football as long as you did. So today's going to go well. I know it is. Well, I'll be sending good thoughts to Tyvis today to get it done. So I'm happy for you, bro. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I know you're going to laugh at me tomorrow when you see me with this Ace band.
I have a picture. I'm not going to lie. I have a picture in my head of what I think. And you can always go check out the Fan YouTube channel as well. I'm on there today, too, by the way. I'm very excited. But I have a picture. I'm going to see how close I get to it tomorrow. But just know that it's, like you said, it's just a short thing. You just got to wear that for the day, right?
I got to wear it for 2 days. I got to wear it for Tuesday, Wednesday, and they said late evening Thursday I could take it off. So I'm really floating the idea of wearing a bonnet. I think I'm going to wear a bonnet. If you see me tomorrow and I got a bonnet on, that means they okay.
Everybody will know why. Hey, it's a medical device. If you got to go with that, it's a medical thing, and I'd support it, man. Whatever. That's awesome. What if you just got now I'm trying to think. And I think we need some suggestions here on Twitter. If you got the Ace bandage on, what else? I was just thinking, what if you just got a hat that was 5 sizes too big?
Apparently, so this Ace bandage, it's just like a headband. So the top of my head will be exposed because they
leave that exposed.
They want it to be exposed. So that's why I'm trying to float the idea. Do I? Is they gonna let me wear the bonnet or? Because I feel like if it's just for maybe a couple of hours, obviously I wouldn't wear it all day. No. I would just do it when cameras is on me, because I didn't think people really wanted to see that. But it is what it is, If they say I can't do that, then you'll see me tomorrow. You'll see the procedure with the little dots on my head and all that.
You'll be fine, right?
It's going to go well. You're going to inspire somebody else out there. I know somebody's listening, thinking about it. When Tyvis talks about it tomorrow, you're going to want to do it. You're going to want to jump on board.
Listen, I'm going to tell everybody everybody that if I don't wear a bonnet and you see me, look, focus on my eyes. Look me in the eyes
right there.
And pay attention to the message. Don't look at what's going on up top.
There you go. And like I said, just a couple of days, so it'll be good. We'll get that update tomorrow. I wish nothing but the best for you, man, as you go into that. And we'll be back tomorrow to recap everything with that. I'm excited. It was a big day yesterday on the NFL side of things. For one, Saquon Barkley. Tyvis, is it an honor to say you're on the cover of Madden? Like, I think I grew up, I'm just a little bit older than you. I'm a gamer. Madden has been a huge part of my life for most of my life. And I just think that there's certainly, I think everybody would want to win an MVP or win a championship. I think it's got to be one of the coolest things to say that I was the cover athlete of a video game. For football, for Madden, for 2K, for basketball, for the show, for baseball, NHL, soccer, whatever sport you do. I think that's got to be one of the coolest things to say that you were the cover athlete. It's almost like saying you were the MVP. They picked you as either the most popular or the best player, and then they go with his iconic reverse hurdle as the picture for it. I thought it was great. And Saquon sounded pretty excited about it, too.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing is, obviously, if you grew up as a kid playing that game, you always dream of being on the cover of Madden. I mean, it's a huge honor, but, it's a such thing as the Madden curse.
Are you buying it?
I do buy it a little bit.
So do I.
I was thinking about, like 2K, because I was like, obviously, since the games are coming out with the cover, and I'm thinking like, wow, I was playing 2K yesterday, and I'm like, wow, Jason Tatum's the cover athlete for 2K, and he just tore his Achilles. So it really is a thing, and it is kind of ironic how many guys have gotten hurt, or something bad has happened to them over the course of their season from being on it. But Madden's a little different. I don't think it holds. Obviously, it's a prestigious honor to be on the cover, but Madden switches their cover athlete over the year. It's not like how it used to be. It's only going to be Saquon. No, they be having Ray Lewis be the cover athlete for a couple of months. Then they go get Deion to be on it. It's like that. So it's not as good as it used to be. It's just Saquon is going to start the year off as the cover athlete, but as the year goes on, Madden does a great job of switching. When you look at it on your system, it switches who the cover athlete is.
Well, you and I are from an era, and there's a lot of people out there that listen about physical media. There's a big push now because they stopped making, everything is just digital. You just download the game. It's on there. And I'm happy to see, on the music side of it, there's been a big push to get more vinyl, and people are buying vinyl more. But, if I want to go buy a physical copy, you actually have to pay more money now if you want a physical copy of the game because it costs them more to make them, and nobody wants physical copies. Everybody just downloads it to their system, and then, they're off the race. So that was something, like you said, back in the day. I'm sitting down here. I have the Larry Fitz, Troy Polamalu cover.
Oh,
Those are my favorite ones they ever did, right?
That was the first two athlete one.
Yeah, that one was so cool. So here's the recent ones, because they talked about the Madden curse, right? Mm-hmm. So they went back. Last year, Christian McCaffrey, okay? Had a bad year, spent most of it on injured reserve.
Yes.
Kind of counts. Year before that was Josh Allen. Now, he did combine for 44 touchdowns, but he also had a career-high 18 interceptions. So take that for what it is. Madden 22 was Mahomes and Brady. Brady threw for 43 touchdowns, his highest total in a decade, and Mahomes threw for 37. So those guys also probably bucked the trend there a little bit on the Madden cover. Lamar won it in 21, and again, he won the MVP prior to that, and he still threw for 26 touchdowns and rushed for 1,000 yards. It had a solid season. Mahomes was before that. He did fine. But then, Antonio Brown, he was on 19, but then that next season, it got really bad. He left Pittsburgh. He wanted to fight the Raiders general manager. It got bad after that. Brady was before that. Then Gronk in 17, he got hurt most of the year after that. Odell was before that, and then Richard Sherman. So, I would say it's kind of been, back and forth on that. And I think for most people, I don't think we want to see Saquon unless you're not a, big Eagles fan. But, I would hope Saquon can buck that little bit of a Madden trend. But I feel like it's not really been a thing over the last couple of years,
Yeah, no, it should be fine. I think Saquon, obviously, he's a pretty healthy guy. Obviously, he had the 1 year with the Giants where he got hurt, but I think that with Philadelphia, they do such a great job of, taking care of him. And, with that running back by committee thing, he's taking some hits off his body. So I think he'll be fine this year. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if he's going to rush for 2,000 yards again. But, like I said, for him, it has to be a wonderful honor to be the cover athlete and doing that backwards hurdle. Like, it's first of all, it was crazy because I think they put that in the game last year after he did it. So,
oh, yeah, that's right. They did.
So it's like crazy to see him like on the cover, and obviously it's probably going to be on this game as well. He should be the only one allowed to do it, though.
That's a good point. I agree with you on that. Like, if you build, nobody else should be able to do that backwards hurdle except Saquon Barkley. I have enough trouble like throwing it to the back that I'm looking at, like, let alone. You ever watch the pro Madden players on how they play the game? It's a completely different world than how some of us play. And
you should play quarterbacks. I went up against Cardell and JT when I was in college, and it was like it was pointless to play them because they just kind of knew where to go with the football. And it was like watching them two play each other. Like it was like maybe 2 incompletions on the entire game. I used to be like,
about Cardell. Let that kid win the one time. He's playing with a kid. And he like run the score up. He's like, what, you want me to take it easy on him? So like Cardell seemed like somebody that played a lot of Madden.
I just talked to him about that, like a week ago. I said, you're not the same guy. Cardell has gotten soft as he's gotten older. He doesn't have that killer instinct in him anymore. He allows people to have fun. And I'm like, the same guy that went to the hospital and scored over 100 points on a guy in the hospital, now all of a sudden you want to be fair about things. So yeah, he's soft.
Well, as dads too, we have to cross that bridge with our kids. When do you start letting your kids beat you in video?
Or
sports in general too?
That's not happening. I got daughters, and if my daughters ask to play me, I'm treating them like they Michael Jordan.
There you go. You got to figure it out one way or another. That's how it's gotta go. We got a little update on Ohio State here as Ross Bjork, athletic director. We've talked a lot about the start times for some of the Ohio State football games coming up. But he gives a vote of confidence over there to one of their media partners. We'll tell you who. We'll discuss it all. It's coming up. T-Bone and Tyvis right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Well, our Tuesday commute kicking off to a great start here. For folks over in Gahanna, your commute is looking fine as you step out the door. 270 northbound, 62 westbound, and 670 westbound, all up to par with your drive times. As for southbound, I-71 South Frink Road to 270 will only take you 2 minutes there. 270 South Broad Street to 70 got you at 6. I'm 10 TV's Breen Albizu with your fan traffic.
With rates as low as 8.99% APR, now is the perfect time to save your summer with a debt consolidation loan from BMI Federal Credit Union. Visit bmifcu.org/consolidate.
This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, where our erectile dysfunction treatments are shown to be effective in nearly 90% of cases. Listen to what Alex has to say about our ED treatments.
I have been experiencing problems with ED, but that's all changed. My name's Alex, and I've been a patient for Tri-State Men's Health for under a year. I highly recommend this. Every day I wake up feeling good compared to I was back in the old days. It change is more exciting. I don't have a problem with ED anymore. I'm having a lot more fun. I was very comfortable. I was always comfortable in any conversation I had with Tri-State Men's Health. I just want to let gentlemen out there know that you do not have to live with ED, that it is not just an aging process. It is also hormonal and balance and everything in your system. And once you get that under control and everything, you do go back to your youth a lot in how you feel.
Thanks, Alex. It's true. If you're like most men, we'll help you get your sex life back. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
Introducing Ice Cream Quakes from UDF. Big chunks of your favorite candies and cookies blended with real UDF ice cream. Made the way you want. Real creamy, real chunky, real. Ice Cream Quakes. New from United Dairy Farmers.
I'm an old school Joe. I never lay juice I don't want to lay. I don't hate my money like that. I'd rather lay -108 than -110, wouldn't you? Prime Sports is Ohio's full-time reduced juice sportsbook. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit up to $400 in bonus bets. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Hi, I'm Mandy. I'm one of the at-home coaches with Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Honestly, I think the thing I hear the most is I didn't realize how easy it was. That first weekly they come in, they're like, oh my gosh, I already noticed that I'm not as bloated in my face or in my abdomen, or I've been sleeping better. I've been waking up with so much more energy. I don't need my coffee throughout the day. They're coming in a month or two later and they're like, hey, like my daughter said I need to lower my meds. I'm losing a ton of inches on my waist. I'm buying new pant sizes. And we're looking at scale. And we're like, yeah, your visceral fat's down again. That's fantastic. And we're celebrating all of these wins. And then we talk about, okay, next step. Let's talk about how to maintain it. This isn't over. This is just the next stage. That's what your health coach is there for.
Thanks, Mandy. This is Scotty Vegas. Easy weight loss with results that actually last. With Awaken 180 Weight Loss, you will succeed and you'll enjoy the process. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Legend has it, underneath the NJM insurance offices lies a room of rejected mascot memorabilia. Is it real? No one knows. But we do know NJM is proud to put policyholders first. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance.
Insurance underwritten by NJM Insurance Company and its subsidiaries.
Join Rothman and Ice every Thursday at 2:30 for Gold Jacket Thursday.
Presented by the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
A new Hall of Famer joins the show every week, but not OJ because he's dead and probably a murderer. The Fan.
Are you in need of basic dental treatment but can't afford the cost? There may be a solution. Hi, I'm Dr. Hal Jeter, president of the Ohio Dental Association, and I'm excited to tell you about a program called Dental Options. Dental Options is a partnership between the Ohio Dental Association and the Ohio Department of Health, in which qualifying patients can be paired with a dentist to receive discounted or even free dental care. Eligibility for the program is based on your financial situation. For more information or to apply, call 1-888-765-6789.
Hi, I'm Josie. My daughter turns 5 today. Blow out the candles. I'm also an Ohio State Highway Patrol trooper. When you move over and slow down, you're not only giving me room to work, you're making sure I can get home to celebrate with my daughter.
Roadside workers have lives and families, but when they're on the job, they put it all on the line to protect and serve us. When you see flashing lights, remember, they're not just roadside workers. Thank you for moving over and slowing down.
Brought to you by ODOT, USDOT, NHTSA, and ODPS.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Partly cloudy skies to start and a little bit warmer than yesterday with wake-up temperatures in the 50s. For the afternoon, we'll get in the mid to upper 80s with mostly sunny skies and haze from that wildfire smoke. And then tonight, partly cloudy with overnight lows in the 60s. You'll definitely want to stay hydrated Wednesday as highs approach 90 degrees with breezy winds and mostly sunny skies. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 TV Weather Impact Forecast.
T-Bone and Tyvis is sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com.
One of these men was prom king. It was T-Bone. I swear to God, you think I'm lying, don't you? But I'm serious. He didn't always look like this, okay? Here's the prom king and Tyvis.
Was he really prom king?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I had to ask him about that. He said he definitely was. And I
can't get it because T-Bone, Matt Fontana in for T-Bone this week with Tyvis Powell here on The Fan. T-Bone and Tyvis, like, I get it. You know, he's a pretty
heavy guy.
Well, not. I didn't say that, everybody. That was Tyvis. But I would say, like, he's an energetic guy. Like, he's a fun guy. I can see that he could be friends with, like, a lot of people. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. It sounds like I'm trying to poke holes into his prom king, like, resume or something like that.
He rigged it. That's all. You can say that. He rigged it.
You really rigged? How does that go? My other question was like, what? Did he go to school where there was like he graduated like 30 people or something like that?
I mean, that's a possibility as well.
We'll find that out another day. We'll find that out another day. Well, there's going to be more than 30 people at the shoe for the Ohio State-Texas game, and it's going to be at a time that a lot of people, at least on the Ohio State side of things, not happy about it. And it goes back to Ohio State wanting to move the game. It's at noon. Fox picks that, the big noon kickoff. And Ross Bjork, Ohio State athletic director, was speaking with the Columbus Dispatch, and he kind of gave his thoughts on not just that specific game, but some of the other times that have been picked with Fox. And he gave basically a little bit of a, vote of confidence to Fox, but also said, like, we can strive for a better balance here. So Bjork, in speaking with the Columbus Dispatch, said, Ohio State has carried the big noon window for a long time, frankly, ever since it's created. That's a credit to our program, our players, our coaches, and the consistency of championship football. The way we get contracts are written, all we're hoping for is a little more balance and a little more flexibility. That's not possible given the current makeup of these TV contracts. So that was Bjork speaking to the Columbus Dispatch. And, Tyvis, like in the back end of this, I'll kind of quickly say is like when Fox, they get to choose the game. And Bjork talks about that. He goes, of course they're going to pick Ohio State and Texas to be on their network as not just one of the premier games for week one. That is honestly one of the premier games of the entire college football season coming up. Fox has a right to air that game. They pick it. Now, they picked it for the big noon window because that is what Fox as a network has pushed to the forefront of. That's what we're going to create. And I feel like ESPN has kind of the handle on the Saturday night because of Herbie and Chris Fowler. CBS, I do feel like that noon 3:30, it's just kind of the SEC, and that's going to be different in some of the changes that are coming to college football and things like that. But I get it. Fox said, hey, we've invested a lot into big noon kickoff. And I would say, yeah, majority of people do tune into noon games on Fox because they have the big one.
Yeah.
That's where they wanted to keep it. We know Texas didn't want to move it. But I think Bjork's right on saying, yeah, we're happy to be on the network, but we'd like a little more flexibility on when we can get the premier games, the primetime games. We all want that game at night. Everybody does, except Texas.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things that people want a big-time game. Because we get night games, but it's, like I said, it's going to be like OU or Grambling State or something like that.
Ohio's at night. Yeah, exactly.
Like that.
Yes,
don't nobody want to see that. Of course, there's some people in Ohio that want to see that, but you get what I'm saying. You're not like when you're getting Texas to come to Ohio State, they're not getting the full, hostile environment that a night game brings to the shoe. Don't get me wrong, the fans will be loud and proud at noon, but it's just totally different. And, the biggest thing that coaches talk about when you talk to Coach Day and them, the biggest thing is that recruits, it's some recruits from out of town that can't get here, that can't make it to the shoe because they're playing so many noon games. Because, their game ends at, 9 o'clock. Now you're trying to tell them to get to the airport at, 6 in the morning or catch a red eye and things like that. And it's just a lot to put on an athlete, especially while they're in season. So I know from a recruiter standpoint, that's why they really do want some night games because they feel like it's hurting them a little bit in recruiting. And I feel like after last season, after the 6 consecutive noon games, like Fox can be a little lenient and be like, all right, we don't have to take y'all on this one. We can throw y'all this bone and let y'all get that night game or something like that.
And that's the hard part is you still need somebody to carry noon. And Ohio State is such a big enough brand that they're going to be able to carry that. Not every opponent fits that billing, but like when you have this one that it is Texas, and we're going to talk about Arch Manning later in the show because there is a college football analyst that's making a large comparison for one Arch Manning. We'll get to that a little bit later as we go on. But, yeah, I mean, this game is going to carry the day, and I get that you'll have the SEC, and those games will be just fine. And at that point, it's a little different because it is all out of conference games, too, still in that week one. So you're getting some different matchups, and you got some games that maybe are your tune-up games, things like that. That's not the case here. So it makes it even harder. This isn't something in the middle of October when everybody is in conference play and you maybe have a bigger pool to pull from, but there's still some week one games that I looked at and I was like, man, these games are really, really good. None, again, this is me just being an Ohio State fan. Like there's nothing that's going to change that Ohio State is the number one game for me that weekend, but still they had some other ones to pick. And I get that they want to build up this and they want to be able to say like, hey, noon is the slot for us at Texas, at Fox. So we're going to take Texas, Ohio State here. But, it just feels lacking a little bit. And like what Ross Bjork's talking about, they just want the option. They just want a little bit of that flexibility to be able to move it if needed. But Fox pays a lot of money for that. That's the game they got. We're going to have it at noon. It kind of is what it is at this point.
In the words of Bo Bishop, that's what the money's for.
That's what the money's for.
I would say that I'm not going to blame Fox for the noon game for Ohio State and Texas because they are absolutely going to dominate that time slot. Like there's the next best game is what, Syracuse versus Tennessee, and that's the only other noon game that people might tune into.
Yeah.
So,
you got. Go ahead.
But when you put them up against like the night schedule, there's different ways that people can go. You got LSU versus Clemson, so that's going to take ratings away because people are going to absolutely want to see that game.
You got Alabama, Florida State at 3:30. So that's basically you're going to go from Ohio State, Texas on Fox. You're going to go over to Alabama, Florida State, which is on ABC at 3:30. And then, like you said, I think everybody's going to be tuned in again on ABC to the LSU Clemson game coming up at 7:30 that night. So that's kind of my point, too. I was like, those are going to be games worth seeing, and you have them, so you had other options to move around. But I'm sure if they move that up and Clemson and LSU, people would be upset if that game was at noon. Somebody had to kind of get the short end of the stick, and Ohio State plays a lot of noon games. They're going to play one more here, it looks like.
Yeah, like I say, Fox is going to carry, big noon. They're going to get all the ratings that they want, and yeah, we'll see how the rest of the season goes. I just hope it's not 6 consecutive weeks in a row.
Yeah,
like that to me was a little ridiculous, and I get why Fox did it, because if you got Ohio State, all Ohio State fans are going to tune in no matter what. So if you not worried about the ratings or you worried about the games of that week, just take the Ohio State game because they're going to rate well. But at some point, like, come on now. Like,
well, and the other thing too is like Ohio or college football. Ohio State's only released a couple of times. And, there's games that they won't release the time until a week ahead of time because they like that flexibility. The networks like that, as do the teams, to see where are we? Or is this team going to be, in the hunt at the end of it, all that. And you see it now in the NFL, right? The NFL's grabbing up as much flexibility as they can. Well, now we can flex Monday night games, and now we can move Thursday night games because they want that. Because the last thing they want as the season starts to roll on is having some lame duck game out there with some team that's not even in it and getting smoked in your primetime slot. And that could happen any game. You could have, 2 top 5 teams go at it, and there could be a 20-point blowout. But still, you want the best setup that you can to get the most eyes and ears on it. The flexibility is important. I think that's all Bjork's asking for here. Is let's find a way. We can't get it now. The contracts are signed, but we can find a way to try to make this a little bit better. And I do think at the end of the day, too, this one's so different, Tyvis, because it's not a conference game. If this was an in-conference huge matchup in the Big Ten, I think it's later in the season, and I don't think this is even a question that this is going to be a later game in the day.
I wouldn't hold my breath. You would think.
I guess you're right. I would think you're right. I would probably assume that. We'll get the Ohio State-Rutgers, 7 p.m. premier matchup that we all strive for coming up. Well, speaking of Ohio State, we'll get to clip that coming up. Who's been the best recruit that Ohio State has had in the past 25 years? Because this answer, I had to think about it. Because they went through composite scoring of all the recruits over the last 25 years. There are 2 Ohio State Buckeyes that made the top 25 in the past 25. We'll tell you who it is. We got clip that. T-Bone and Tyvis right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and welcome to your Tuesday. No major incidents or delays to report as of now, but we do want to let you know about a ramp closure that's going to be starting tomorrow night, 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. Green Lawn Avenue to 71 northbound. That ramp will be closed. A great detour for you if you are in the area around this time. Take 71 southbound to State Route 104 eastbound, then hop right back on 71 northbound. Could save you a little bit of time. Again, this will be closed June 4th and 5th from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. I'm 10 TV's Brina Albizu with your fan traffic.
Progressive knows sports brings people together, but you gotta feel bad for people who don't even get it. Some people will never know what it's like to see their favorite team's hopes decided by a ping pong ball to draft the next superstar. Or not. I mean, sure, it's silly for your happiness to hinge on the success of a 20-year-old entry-level employee, but you just can't help yourself. The stress is exhilarating. Progressive can't bring people together like the draft, but we can bring your home and auto insurance together with a bundle. So switch and see if you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states or situations.
All power, zero compromise. Eagle cordless outdoor power equipment features advanced lithium battery technology that exceeds the power and performance of gas without the noise, fuss, or fumes. From mowers and trimmers to blowers and pressure washers, one battery powers over 90 tools. No wonder it's the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Power beyond belief. Visit egopowerplus.com to learn more or to find an Ego retailer near you. That's egopowerplus.com.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Don't let bad feet stop you from being active and getting healthy this year. Trade in your bad feet for good feet at the Good Feet store.
T-Bone and Tyvis is presented by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Sign up today at awaken180weightloss.com.
Listen to that! Son of a... That's unbelievable! Oh my goodness! Holy smoke! Just incredible!
T-Bone and Tyvis present Clip That.
Sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com. Receive a 100% match when you deposit up to $400 with the Prime Sports Ohio app.
The 100th pitch of Nigeri Kennedy's night could be the one. A high fly ball to right field. It's deep. It's gone. Will they pitch to Lauren Allred? It looks like it. Allred's first pitch swinging into right. Barker loads up. Davis to the plate. Save. Texas Tech has done it. They end the greatest dynasty in college softball history. The Red Raiders storm to the championship series.
What a game it was last night as Texas Tech takes down the multi-time national champion Oklahoma Sooners in dramatic fashion. Welcome back to T-Bone Tyvis right here on The Fan. I'm Matt Fontana. He's Tyvis Powell. And Tyvis, I didn't watch it live. We're going to bring Bodie in, too, because he did. And I saw the highlights this morning. So, Oklahoma, multi-time national champion, like dynasty of all dynasty. They're down 2-0. They're down to their last strike, and Abigail Dayton comes up. She hits the home run you hear. We're tied 2-2. We go to the bottom of the 7th, but then Texas gets it done on a sac fly, perfect slide. They win the electricity. Like, I saw all the highlights. Bodie, you were watching it live, man. I'm so happy that it's getting the coverage that it deserves, and it was electrifying, and I saw it on Twitter as it was happening live. It was everything everybody was talking about. It was actually really cool to see last night.
Yeah, no kidding. I honestly just happened to flip it on as I was kind of heading to bed there, maybe 5 minutes before Dayton for Oklahoma hit the 2-run tying home run the top of the 7th. It's crazy, too, because the announcer had mentioned she was the 9-hole hitter, down to her last strike, 0-2 in the count. She had 2 homers all year, and she absolutely smoked it, if anybody saw the highlights. I mean, as soon as it came off the bat, that thing was gone. And then Texas Tech, good for them, man, because all the momentum was back with Oklahoma at that point. They were able to bounce right back, and they won it pretty quickly in the bottom of the 7th. And now Texas Tech will face Texas for the best-of-3 series for the national championship starting Wednesday night. And I have to imagine, given that Texas and OU damn near ripped the Big 12 apart, if you're a Texas Tech fan, I'm sure that'd be some pretty sweet revenge if you could beat both Oklahoma and the Longhorns en route to winning the national championship.
Oh, no, that's got to be everything. You know, and Tyvis, to see, like, just, again, the highlights, the excitement, the electricity of it last night. I was just following on social media, and I was like, she hit that home run. And it was just so cool because, like, there's so many funny captions on social media about, like, being down to the last strike or hitting something like that. It's stuff you dream about as a kid. I hit a home run. Well, and here's the problem. At the time, you thought to get your team back into it to go try to win a national championship, and Texas Tech says, not so fast. We're going to come on back here on the bottom of the 7th to get it done.
You know what? That's what you like about sports. You know, you think about dynasty. Everybody tunes in to see dynasties go down, you know, and to see if they can be beat, which is why it kind of makes me think about the NBA Finals to where it's like, there is no dynasty, you know, like that's gonna be beat. But anytime you see your team be the one that stops and ends the dynasty, like it is the greatest feeling in the world. She definitely smoked that ball. I'm sitting here looking at it. That ball was good.
You know, and she's up there too, because like playing baseball, you're just like in your head, you're just like, just get a single, just pass it on to the next person, and then down to 2, you're probably like, I just need to make sure I put the ball in play let alone smoke a 2-run home run to tie the game up and give my team some life here. So very well done on that. And again, it's unfortunate that Oklahoma goes down, but Texas and Texas Tech for the national championship. A lot of eyes will be on that. So we're talking about some high recruits there on the softball side of things. Let's talk some high recruits on the on the college football side of things. So shout out to Grace Rayner. She writes for The Athletic, and she went back through the past 25 years, really 24 years, because there's a caveat in this, Tyvis. Anybody who hasn't played yet was not in this ranking, and she did the number one recruit of the century. So it's a feature that they're doing over The Athletic this week. The best teams of the past 21st century, best players, coaches, programs, 5-star quarterbacks, and we get to the number one overall recruit. So she writes in her article, this is off the 24/7 composite score. So, like, you know, Tyvis, you went through all this, right? Like, when you were getting recruited, and I'm sure it's a lot different now than it was back then, but you would tell everybody, like, what? A score, right? Based on how you played, the camps you went, what you ran in your 40, all that kind of stuff,
yeah,
right?
you go to these camps, they tally up all your stuff, and they come up with this score. And, for me, it should have been a perfect score, Matt, but, you know, it is what it is. You know, they biases.
There's bias. I don't know what they were looking at. I wasn't there, but I'm sure it went really well. Well, Tyvis, I unfortunately, you just missed here on the top 20. So she went through, and again, it was interesting that I looked at a lot of these names, and it's hard for me to then not, like, project what they did in college football, you know? And I got to remember, like, no, this is just about their recruiting. This is just about, like, some of the best recruits that we've ever seen. So this might be hard, but I can throw it to you to start. Since 2000, who do you think is the number one overall recruit? He did not go to Ohio State, and this is very early in the 21st century.
Since 2000.
Since 2000.
Tim Tebow?
2000. No, it was not Tim Tebow.
Reggie Bush.
No, I thought it would have been Reggie Bush, too.
Hey,
it was a quarterback.
Carson Palmer. No.
You want the team? Do you think the team would help?
Yeah, give me the team.
Texas.
Vince Young?
Vince Young was number one.
Really?
Number one in 2002. Travis Hunter is second. Trevor Lawrence third. Adrian Peterson 4. Then Leonard Fournette, Jadeveon Clowney, Andre Smith, the offensive tackle who went to Alabama, was 7. And then at 8 and 9, back-to-back Buckeyes. Back-to-back Buckeyes. So this guy at number 8, he's on the current roster for the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Oh, then it's got to be JJ, right?
It is, yeah. Jeremiah Smith is there at 8. Now, here's your next one. At number 9, so again, from Grace Rayner at The Athletic, the best recruits in college football since 2000. She has Jeremiah Smith at number 8. At number 9 is the only other Buckeye in the top 25. And I want to get to that with you in a second, because I was thinking, I'm like, man, she had to have missed one or two, but we'll discuss that in a second. This is the only other Buckeye is at number 9. And the hint is he didn't finish his college career at Ohio State.
Well, I mean, that's a lot of... the highest recruit... Wasn't the highest recruit we ever had, what's the dude that... Quinn Ewers?
Quinn Ewers is correct. Well done. Nice. It was Quinn Ewers. He is at 9. And then obviously finished out at Texas, and now, you know, he's into the NFL. I'm going to cherry pick some of the other names on this one. Matt Barkley, USC quarterback, was 15. Rashawn Gary, who went to Michigan, was 16. Robert Kindici, remember the defensive tackle at Ole Miss? Everybody thought he was like...
I remember watching him when he was in college.
Yeah.
I was watching... we was playing Alabama, so we had watched Alabama versus Ole Miss, and he flashed. I was like, who is this?
And even when he got to the league, because he was still... I want to say he was still a first-round pick. He went to Arizona. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And I was like... Same thing, like, as much hype and as much as he was talked about, I'm like, man. And, you know, things happen. We all get that or whatever. Joe McKnight, USC running back, is at 20. Another guy that I thought, little Reggie Bush there. I was like, man, maybe he'll be.
So Reggie not in the top 20?
Reggie wasn't in it, which was crazy to me.
Tebow not in the top 20?
not. Arch was 23.
That's
crazy. And it's hard because it's like to your point, that scoring system obviously can be flawed.
It's definitely flawed.
And there's some of that. So I was thinking about that, too, about Ohio State specifically. Like the Bosas. One of them wouldn't have fit that. And it's like I was thinking about other just like over-the-moon recruits, but it's hard
Chase
for me.
Young should have been on there.
Chase Young would have been a huge one.
Tyvis Powell should have definitely been on.
should have been on that list. I don't know how it wasn't. This tells you it obviously is very flawed.
Once you said I wasn't on the list, I knew the list was flawed.
I should have thrown it out. We should have moved on to something else. I got it. But I was like, I'm like, because it's hard to not think about the careers. Because I would sit there and be like, oh, Zeke. And I'm like, well, maybe he wasn't that high of a recruit.
Yeah.
Like Michael Thomas, I was thinking about. And you were right. Like, Quinn, you were certainly a big one. Obviously, we see what Jeremiah's doing now at Ohio State. But I was like, man, there had to have been some that would have cracked the top 25. But no, on the composite rankings, it's just Jeremiah Smith and Quinn Ewers. That's it. Who else do you think was just, like, glaring that it's hard for us to not think about them being a top recruit? Like I said, I keep going back to the Bosas. I'm trying to think of ones that they there was just such that big battle to get to.
Ted Ginn wasn't like.
Yeah, that would have been a great
big one out of Cleveland.
Yeah, that would have been huge.
Terrell Pryor was like one of the top players.
Yes, you're right. How was it not Pryor?
I mean, Pryor had from an athletic standpoint. I mean, he was.
There were rumors they were going to let him play basketball. Yeah, there was rumors they were going to let him play basketball too.
Yeah,
but that's right. How did Terrell Pryor? You know what? I'm going to have to go back and find some of those scores and see where they would have gone. Because I'm not saying you have the elite of the elite here, but something's not right. I don't know what it is. You know what is right? Morning Wood. We got that. Bo's got the questions for us. I'm really excited. It's my first venture into it. Here on a Tuesday, happy to be alongside T-Bone and Tyvis. Matt Fontaine in for T-Bone, right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Well, our drive times are looking perfect for your Tuesday commute, so we'd love to hear that here. 71 northbound over by Westerville, you're looking great if you're heading up there. 33 eastbound, we are seeing a little bit of congestion and delays right now. That's just because of more cars on the roads as they step into work this morning and are heading up especially towards the city. Canal Winchester, Pickerington area, particularly 33 westbound, looking a little bit slower at 16 miles per hour there. Even US 33 Agenda Road. We have some backups, but nothing too crazy. No accidents report as of now in this area. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Buckeye Lake Marina. It's boat season at Buckeye Lake Marina. Largest new and used boat inventory in the 3-county region. Details and more at BuckeyeLakeMarina.com.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. This summer, you want to keep the cold air in your house. You don't want to pay extra for your AC. It's already expensive. Why not get windows that'll keep that air where it belongs? Cool in your house, not leaking out of your inefficient windows. You need energy-efficient windows from our friends at Window Nation. Their windows are built to keep your house cool during the hot summer days, and they've got some of the best energy-efficient windows out there. In fact, every window, 50-point inspection before it leaves the factory. That makes sure it's high quality. Plus, when they install it, there's a 20-point inspection at the site of your house when they put the window in. It's an amazing product. It's going to help you save money, and you need to check it out today. Right now, you can get a great deal from Window Nation. Buy 4 windows, get 4 windows free. For 2 years, you won't have to worry about a down payment, interest, monthly payments, nothing until 2027. Plus, get a free entry door when you buy that full house of windows. Just tell them T-Bone sent you. I trust Window Nation. You should, too. Check them out today, 866-90-NATION or windownation.com.
You had a solid retirement dream. Sell your home in a few years, bank the equity, downsize, and travel. But with an unpredictable economy and the future feeling uncertain, you're wondering if that equity will still be there when you're ready. What if you could bank that equity right now? With Truehold, you can sell your home for its current value, so you can access your equity today. You can bank the cash now and stay in the home you love with an easy standard lease. Truehold even covers property taxes, insurance, and repairs. And since Truehold hands over your equity in cash now, it's yours to do whatever you'd like. Don't let a shifting economy put your hard-earned equity at risk. Visit Truehold.com and receive their competitive offer on your home in just 48 hours, based on its current value, not what's coming. Call Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. That's Truehold.com.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Spring into savings at Ohio Mulch. Get your mulch as easy as ever. Save $50 on home delivery now through Sunday. All you got to do is visit OhioMulch.com today.
Ohio Mulch, landscape supply.
A healthy body needs good food. This summer, the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce is sponsoring Sun Meals, a summer food program where kids eat free. Children under 18 receive healthy meals and no sign-up is required. Locations may be right in your neighborhood. Call 1-866-348-6479 or visit education.ohio.gov/kidseat for meal locations and times. That's education.ohio.gov/kidseat.
Hey, it's Anthony Rothman for Orthopedic One, Central Ohio's most trusted orthopedic practice. They helped me with my elbow pain, and I'm back on the course. Find a physician or location near you at orthopedic1.com. Orthopedic One, this is where you go to get better.
What's the best way to make sure you don't miss any of your favorite fan shows? Oh, no. Download the Fan app, silly.
Ah, damn it, I knew that.
App Store, Google Play, or just scream right at your phone. Psst, you can also listen to Buckeye games. Do it now.
Every success you've had began with a great opportunity. Now there's another one. Last aid year, University of Maryland Global Campus awarded over $21 million in scholarships to qualified students, including community college students, service members, veterans, and working adults. Now is the time to move your career forward with an online and accredited skills-based education. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
The next time Tyvis hits a home run in softball will be the first time Tyvis hits a home run in softball. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
It's funny you mentioned softball home runs. Tyvis, do you play softball a lot?
Yeah, I do Cardale's softball charity event every year, so that's why they saying that.
All right, so we got Morningwood coming up with Bodie, and I want to get to that in a second. I had the worst, apparently the worst gaffe you could do in softball. My brother plays in a lot of leagues, so he calls me on Friday night. He goes, we're short guys, right?
Okay.
I need you to come. And I said, no problem. And I played baseball my whole life and played a little after college, like whatever. I hit a home run on the first pitch, right? I start running the bases. And everybody looks at you and you're like, who invited this jerk over here? They go, we don't run the bases here, pal. Like, you just hit your home run, you walk back to the dugout. I'm like, I didn't know. Nobody told me. I'm sorry. I didn't know. I had to walk by the pitcher. I don't know if you can get thrown at in men's league softball. I don't think it would hurt very much. But I had to walk by the pitcher. I'm like, dude, I'm really sorry. I wasn't trying to show you up. Like, I had no idea. Nobody told me. I'm filling in so they could play. It is what it is. All right, Fontana in this morning here. I got you with Tyvis on T-Bone and Tyvis. We're going to bring in Bodie Wells. I'm very excited for this. A little bit of Morning Wood.
It's good to know where you stand on the important issues. Oh, my. This is Morning Wood.
All right, fellas. We will start in the NFL. I was listening to Kevin Stefanski talk at a golf outing this morning. Well, I listened to it this morning. The golf outing was yesterday. He said all the quarterbacks are looking great. Kevin Stefanski, always good for a soundbite. He'll say a lot and say absolutely nothing. It's pretty incredible. But nevertheless, you guys are both Browns guys. I want to know, which Browns quarterback would you be betting on to start the most games this season for Cleveland?
I'll let you go first. I think what we maybe want and what we would bet on might not be the same thing. So we got to bet on this one. Who you taking?
If I had to bet on who would start the most this year, I would bet on who. I wanted to be Shador. I really, really wanted to be Shador. You know what? I'm going to say that. I'm going to say Shador Sanders is the answer.
I'm kind of with you. I would like it to be one of the rookies. I'll say Dylan Gabriel, but I would like it to be one of the rookies. If I had to place a bet, I'm going to say Joe Flacco. I think the comfortability, he started games in the system before, try to keep that locker room together. So I think you and I are on the same page. I think we both would love it to be one of the rookies, but
Matt, that wouldn't do them no good. That wouldn't do them no good if Joe Flacco plays the entire year, because with those 2 first-round picks next year, you have to see if these rookies are good. Because Joe Flacco, he's not going to be there for he might play 1 season, maybe 2, maybe. So you have to get those young guys.
Brady played till he's 45.
Yeah, he ain't Tom Brady, though.
Never know.
So
you never know.
They would do themselves a disservice if Joe Flacco does start the majority of the games.
Yeah, and we're going to talk Flacco later because he's also been discussing about his kind of situation, like where he fits in that quarterback room. And I think he's dropping some little nuggets out there about where he thinks he stands as well. We'll get to that for sure.
All right, guys, next up, we talked about this a little bit yesterday in honor of Happy Gilmore 2 coming out. The trailer was released a couple days ago there. If you could have a sequel or a remake to any sports movie, what movie would you pick?
Ooh, that's a great question.
Any Given Sunday 2.
Yes.
That's my favorite football movie of all time. So I'm going Any Given Sunday 2 with me starring as the quarterback.
I was saying, so does Willie Beeman become the coach? Does he make that transition to coach?
Willie Beeman goes out. He gets hurt that year because he's scrambling around.
All right.
So they bring in Tyvis Powell, and he saves the season.
There you go. Well, if you're the new hair coming in, you're going to be perfect. You are going to be built for Hollywood, man. You're going to be perfect for Hollywood. It's going to look good. I'll hit you on another football one, the replacements. What happens to Shane Falco after that?
That's
what happens? He leads them. They win the whole thing. What happens to Shane Falco? I want to know.
All right, guys, let's get a little sad here. Which game that your favorite team lost over all your years of being a sports fan would you say that you were the most heartbroken after?
Yeah,
you want me there? Go ahead, man.
Dude, Tyvis, I hate to make a joke, and you and I are from the same area. We kind of root for the same teams. It's like heartbreak means I have to expect them to actually win. The answer has got to be, though, 2016 World Series Game 7. If they don't bring out that damn tarp. Rajay hits the home run off of Chapman with the Cubs. The Cavs had won the championship. It was the borderline season of dreams. 2016 Game 7 World Series. Got to be it for me.
Yeah, that's definitely
yeah.
That's one of the ones that I try to forget. For me, I'm gonna go personal note. 2015 against Michigan State losing that game. That one. Still to this day, it's like I probably think about that once a week that we lost that game.
Yeah, Bodie, you got to put a little timer on the show once a week.
Exactly.
Just to remind Tyvis, hey, remember that game?
We might
As
get
a fan, that was a gut punch.
Might have to get that in the rejoins for you, Tyvis.
Yeah.
We'll go back to pop culture here a little bit. If you could go back, Men in Black style, just kind of snap your fingers and erase your memory a little bit and watch a movie for the first time, what movie would you choose?
That's another. Bodie's getting us with the good ones here. I'll give you my best movie-going experience was seeing The Dark Knight. The night that it opened, the pencil scene, the whole theater jumped. The whole theater jumped when they did that. And I am a giant Batman nerd and fan, so I'll say The Dark Knight. If I could go back and watch it again, that'd be it for me.
Okay, for me, the movie was good, but this is not. It's more to the story to why I want to see this again. If we could snap our fingers and I could go back to that night and watch it again, it would be The Conjuring. Why? Because I'm gonna tell you why. Because I went to see The Conjuring with Cardell when we was in college.
Yeah.
And I never seen a grown man get up and walk out because they was scared. It was hilarious. Everybody in there probably was looking at me like I was crazy because I could not stop laughing at this horror flick. But it's because this dude literally, he couldn't take it no more. He had to get up and just walk out.
Seriously, I love The Conjuring too. It's a great flick, but your point is you would want to go back, but you got to take Cardale with you. You're taking Cardale.
I got to get that whole experience again so I can really just fall out laughing.
Just watch him walk out again. That's awesome. The other thing to think about is movies you could only watch once. Shutter Island, Donnie Darko. You watch it once, you can never watch the movie the same again because you know what happens at the end of it.
Yeah.
So that would be a good one for me. I might have, no, I'm sticking Dark Knight, but rewatch Shutter Island not knowing what you know, that would be a good one to do because, like you said, once you watch it once, you can never quite watch it again. But great stuff there on Morning Wood. I love it. A lot of fun to do that every Tuesday right here on The Fan with T-Bone and Tyvis. All right, Deion trying to set the record straight about his son. I actually think he's doing his son a disservice. I'll tell you why. T-Bone and Tyvis right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and happy Tuesday. The roads are still looking pretty smooth right now, so we do want to let you know about a ramp closure that's going to be starting June 4th and 5th, starting tomorrow, 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. I-71 northbound to 70 eastbound. That's a big area there. That ramp will be closed. A great detour, depending on where you're going. Continue northbound on State Route 315 to 670 eastbound, up to 71 northbound if you're heading in that direction. Other than that, continue northbound on State Route 315 to 670 eastbound, to 71 southbound to 70 eastbound if you are heading in that direction. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Now is the time to get your body right. Stop going through life dealing with pain. Remember the good days where you were able to play sports with your friends? Now you're losing to your kids in activity. It's time to take the crown back. Hey, it's Tyvis Powell for QC Kinetics. They are different. These are not quick fixes. This is a revolutionary treatment that works to give your body long-term relief. You'll meet face-to-face with Dr. Aaron Wilkoff and the QC Kinetics medical team. They'll teach you how their regenerative treatment takes your body's own healing power and helps heal and restore your damaged tissue. These are well-respected protocols that include potent and powerful cellular level treatments. QC Kinetics has helped myself and tens of thousands of people right here in the Columbus area. They'll get to the root of your pain and fix it. You will be showing your kids who's boss, just like old times. Find out if you're a good candidate. The consultation is free. Go to qckinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
I think I just wrote the song of the summer. Listen. That's just you drinking a big gulp from Speedway. And just 89 cents for any size with Speedy Rewards? That's a hit. The convenience stores of Speedway. Valid through 6/24/25. See app for full terms.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify.
Hey, it's Leslie from Pella Columbus.
I'm Wilson from that other window place.
One of my favorite things, Wilson, is the look on people's faces when they see the end price for Pella windows.
Yeah, I'm always hearing, does it look like I'm wearing my money britches?
More like, I can't believe we get the Pella look and quality at these prices.
Oh, you went the other way with that. You're hearing good things. Oh, this is awkward.
Get the window that homeowners rated the leading window brand in Columbus at PellaColumbus.com.
Say goodbye to car care headaches with Carvenience from Hinderer Motor Company. This is Justin Hinderer. For only $49, we'll pick up your vehicle, leave you with a rental, and return it fully serviced and spotless. No more juggling your schedule or wasting hours at the shop. Carvenience lets you focus on what matters while we take care of all the rest, making life easier. Schedule your service today at HindererMotorCompany.com.
Don't settle for ordinary this summer when adventure awaits. Make memories that will last forever only at your Columbus Zoo and Aquarium, Central Ohio's family destination for fun. Plan your perfect summer trip at columbuszoo.org.
Boating season is finally here, and Buckeye Lake Marina is your go-to destination for all your on-the-water needs. With the largest inventory in Central Ohio, you can choose from top brands like Bennington, South Bay, Crown Line, and more. Buckeye Lake Marina has it all. Pontoon boats, luxury tri-toon boats, even merch. Open 7 days a week to serve you better. Find your next dream boat at Buckeye Lake Marina. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com today for all your on-the-water needs. The good life, the lake life, starts at Buckeye Lake Marina.
This just in, the NFL schedule has dropped, and you know what that means. It's go time. Adam Schefter here with the Insider Tip. If you're trying to catch your team live this season, Vivid Seats is the move. For the best selection of games and seats, it's time to snap your tickets up now. Vivid Seats has great deals on great seats and the only rewards program in the game. It's no wonder they're the official ticketing partner of ESPN. So don't wait. Head to vividseats.com or download the app and lock in those game days.
Whether you're building a single roof or a successful roofing business, roofing contractors like you need the right tools for the job, and software is no exception. Service Titan is on a mission to be the most powerful software platform for the trades, with purpose-built technology proven to maximize revenue, streamline operations, and deliver 5-star customer experiences. We are taking roofing companies like yours to the next level and beyond. Service Titan, we are built for this. See what we can do for roofers at servicetitan.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Buddy Wells at Great American Ballpark. The Reds took an early 2-0 lead in the first inning, but the Brewers even the score at 2-2 in the following inning. Then a solo shot from Christian Yelich in the top half of the third gave Milwaukee a 3-2 lead, and the Brewers would go on to win by that final score of 3-2 in the first of the 3-game set. The two teams will go again tonight at 7:10. Meanwhile, after an off day on Monday for the Guardians, they'll be back at it tonight as they're in the Bronx for the first of 3 against the New York Yankees. That one will get started at 7:05 tonight. And the Women's College World Series will have a new national champion for the first time since 2019, as last night, Texas Tech's Laura Allred hit a walk-off sacrifice fly in the bottom of the 7th as she lifted the Red Raiders past Oklahoma 3-2. The Sooners had been the 4-time reigning national champs. This update is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. It's great to have goals. It's even better to have experts to help you attain those goals. Experts in weight loss, awaken180weightloss.com.
Just a reminder, Tyvis thinks all pizza tastes the same. Also a reminder, Tyvis was born without taste buds. You're listening to Bone and Tyvis.
Got Matt Fontana with you this morning and Tyvis Pal in for T-Bone right here from Tyvis on the Fan. Deion Sanders letting it be known, talking about his son Shador. And one of the most interesting things about the draft was the slide on Shador, kind of what happened. And Deion admits he was hurt by some of the reports that come out. We'll get to that in a second. I'm in the YouTube chat. I just found out about it. And we were talking about remakes of movies. Rusty on the YouTube chat, Any Given Sunday 2, Senior League, featuring Tyvis Powell. Because you want in the movie, Willie Beeman gets hurt, he's out, and Tyvis comes in and plays quarterback. There you go. We're all for that. I don't know what else. Like, I'm trying to think. The replacements, too? Because they're not replacements again.
No,
because they already got in there.
You would have to get a whole new cast of characters.
Ooh, I like that.
Which is fine because that's me. You know, I'll go. I'll fill it as a replacement.
You're in. You'll fill it in. We're talking about movies, sequels to some sports movies with Happy Gilmore 2 coming out. All right, so Deion, he goes on a podcast, and I think it was some even funny commentaries on Asante Samuel's podcast, former NFL cornerback himself, and he was asked about Shador's slide, and paraphrasing what Deion had to say, he goes, "It did hurt. But the Bible says God uses foolish things to confound the wise. There was some foolish stuff that went on, but that gave him something that they needed." And he said, "I like that edge that Tom Brady had. Give him the edge that you had." And what he's talking about is some of the reports, and I say reports because rumors confirm not, that Shador Sanders wasn't all that involved in his pre-draft interviews, that he was ill-prepared. There was a report he's wearing headphones when he's in there. And Deion even spoke specifically about the headphone thing. And he's talked about his son, of what he went through at college, going through so many different offense coordinators and what he had learned. And he goes, "You really think my son is going to show up ill-prepared and unprofessional to these interviews?" And I started by saying, and teasing this up, that I thought that Deion might be doing a disservice to his son. And back to the YouTube chat from Z-Dog, and he's right. And he goes, Deion's exactly doing what a father would do. And I think about that so much, Tyvis. You and I are dads. And if that happened to one of our kids, we would be doing the same exact thing that Deion is doing.
Mm-hmm.
And especially if we had the platform that Deion had or has to get out there and set that record straight. Here's the only reason, and this is something that you and I as fathers of young kids are starting to maybe realize, eventually got to let them become their own person. And you're going to have to, and you're always going to be behind them, and you're always going to be with them to back them up and do it. But one of the worries was, yeah, how involved is Deion going to be? Or is he going to be overshadowing Shador?
Mm-hmm.
The only reason I say it might be a disservice to Shador is I don't think it was a big deal. And if you want to set the record straight about why you thought your son fell in the draft, well, it's over. And he's in Cleveland, and he's in a quarterback battle. He really is, to try to find out his niche and carve out his NFL career. Maybe it's just me. I didn't need the record set straight about why he fell. Now, maybe they're embarrassed by it, and they're a little more, obviously, close and personal to the decision. But I go, dude, you made it. You're in the NFL. Now, make the team start, get a starting job, carve out your career. That's it. Like, what got you to this point? I guess I didn't need that record straight, set straight a little bit. And we all know that those records that could have been one instance, or that could have been just one team with an axe to grind, putting out some stuff there about Shador. I guess it's hard because we're not Deion. It's not our kids. You know.
Yeah, I think Deion is doing probably what anybody would do. Right. You say you don't want the record to be set straight, but like I think that the problem is Shador is getting unfairly judged. You hear these reports, and now people are forming their opinions like, oh, this guy's cocky. This guy doesn't care. He think he's this. He think he's that. And if you know Shador, like if you're Deion, like your son, and it's like, that's false. My son is not like that, and I don't want that to be out there on him. So I don't fault Deion for fighting it and trying to set the record straight, because you want people to know who your son really is. Now, as far as it doesn't matter anymore, he in a quarterback battle, that part is 100% correct. I mean, at this point, this probably was the best landing spot for you, because if you weren't taken in the first round, typically you go to a place where you're automatically the backup. That's what happens. The fact that you are a 5th round pick and you're still in it to be the starter, like that, to me, you couldn't even have dreamed of a better opportunity. And they definitely had a great conversation with, AB and Kevin during the pre-draft process that they wanted to come here. I mean, Shador kept saying the whole pre-draft process, I want to be a Brown. I play with the Browns. I like the Browns, blah, blah, blah with the Browns. So it's funny that he ends up landing exactly where he wanted to be. And this is what he asked for. Now, obviously it's not the round that he asked for it to be in, but he wanted to be a Cleveland Brown. So if that's the case, make the most of this opportunity. You got OTAs, you got OTAs, mini camp, then you got fall camp, joint practices preseason. If you really want to be that guy and you don't want them to draft a quarterback next year, you better make sure you're shining when you get your opportunities. And
I know, obviously, you cover the Browns like I do up here, and he's been doing fine. He's been doing well.
Oh, yeah. They say he's doing all the right things.
Yep. And he's making some throws that are getting on the highlight reels and the building up of that. I think the other thing to, I guess, kind of flip to the other side of this with Deion, with what he had to say, Shador didn't fall to the 5th round because he was or wasn't wearing headphones or wasn't, prepared. Like, there had to be some on-the-field question. And we kind of had that going into the draft about some of it. Now, the thing is, that's where hype can be so hurtful. Mm-hmm. Because you had people like Mel Kiper saying he's the number 1 overall, pick in this draft, and he's the most talented, and at worst, he's going to be a top 10 pick. Or, oh, wait, he's no way he's going to get past Pittsburgh here, or he's not going to fall into it. And then the TV spectacle that is the draft, and he's sitting there and he's everybody's watching him, and we had that with Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers turned into a 4-time MVP Hall of Fame career and all that. But I guess it's like, do you still think that sticks with Shador? And we're so early in his career, he's not even played in an NFL game yet.
Yeah.
But when you think of Shador, do you think of the slide? Do you think about him sitting in that green room and waiting to get his name called and the shock when the Browns finally did? Is that something that still kind of, triggers when you hear the name Shador Sanders?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what the MO is. When you think about Shador, that's the biggest story right now, is that this guy, people had him as the second best quarterback in the draft, and somehow, some way, he went all the way to the 5th round. Like, that's, to me, so now it's, honestly, what's happened is the world has put him in a situation to where the world is split 50-50. It's two sides. It's the people that's waiting to say, I told y'all he was a 5th round pick, and then it was people that's waiting to say, yeah, they did him wrong. He should have been a 1st round pick. And it's up to him to either prove people wrong or prove people right. And so far, he's been trying to prove those doubters wrong. And, I respect that about him. The fact that, when you just hear the reports that, this guy's early in the building, this guy stays after practice, this guy he has a great relationship with guys in the locker room right now. He's very serious about football. And over this draft process, it could get misconstrued of who he is, because everybody thinks, because of those reports, this guy's so cocky, this guy's this and that. He thinks he's big time. And so far, since he's been in the league, he has not shown you now that he was big time not one time. I mean, he's doing everything that you're supposed to do as a rookie, and he's taking this thing very seriously. So I'm actually proud of him, and I'm cheering for him.
Same, and that's the thing. He hasn't had the opportunity to go out there and show his game yet, just because they haven't played any games yet. And the story will forever be written on how well he plays in NFL games and what he can turn his career into. It'll turn into a great story if he goes off and pulls the Aaron Rodgers and wins 4 MVPs in a Super Bowl. God, I hope for the Cleveland Browns. That'd be so great. But that'd be so great. And we'll all laugh about that story, or it'll be all part of the thing, and he'll make mention of it in his Hall of Fame speech in Canton with Tyvis.
He brings a Super Bowl to the Browns. He could take his wallet and throw it right in Edgewater, because he'll never need it again.
Nothing.
That man, he'd be bigger than LeBron James in Cleveland.
We have that debate all the time, man, and I give it to you. Whichever quarterback does that, I think might supplant number 23. All right, we're going to talk some football coming up, because we had a little bit of a shocking retirement yesterday, and a former Browns 1st-round pick who might not be playing football anymore. It all comes your way here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good Tuesday morning to you. We are noticing a couple delays and slowdowns this morning as more people head into work and school. Etna and Pataskala, if you're making your way out the door, we are noticing a little bit of slowdowns on 70 westbound this morning. Over in the Canal Winchester area, US 33 still looking a little bit congested. Still no major accidents to report as of now. Even south by Commercial Point, if you're making your way up north taking 23, we're noticing a little bit of slowdowns, but nothing too concerning as you step out the door. I'm 10 TV's Brianne Albizu with your fan traffic.
Men, is good enough really what you want with your sex life? This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and if erectile dysfunction is making for a bad bedroom experience for you and your partner, you should call us, because you want your intimacy to be fantastic, both for you and the one you love. At Tri-State Men's Health, our treatments have success rates of well over 90%, and because we're a medical practice focused on men's sexual health, we can offer many treatment options and even combine treatments to find the right one for you, which means if you're like most of our patients, we can likely get you performing like you haven't in years. So make an appointment and make a change from good enough to really good. And for a limited time, we're offering new patients a free first visit to help you get the care you deserve. This includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose to demonstrate to you the amazing effectiveness of our treatments. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices in the tri-state area to serve you. Tri-State Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
At Kroger, we've lowered prices on over 1,000 items across our stores so you can save even more. Whether you're shopping in-store or online at Kroger, we've lowered prices on thousands of the items your family wants and needs. And with lower prices, your dollar goes further every time you shop with us. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
You can save big on 6-packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or 7-Up. Select varieties or buy 2, get 2 free with your card. Limit 8. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Joining us on this episode are real Spectrum customers, Monique and Greg. We hear your family is a big fan of Spectrum.
Family of 4, we have about 18 devices last time I counted.
2 teams require a lot of speed. Everything they do is online.
There's gaming, there's streaming. Spectrum is perfect for us. I mean, it just seamlessly connects all our devices with lightning speed.
Sounds like Spectrum is really committed to keeping you connected.
It's amazing.
Come into your local AAA Car Care Plus and save $40 on any repair of $150 or more. Only at AAA Car Care Plus locations. And on the plus side, AAA members save more. Offer valid through June 30th. See store for details.
Legend has it, underneath the NJM insurance offices lies a room of rejected mascot memorabilia. Is it real? No one knows. But we do know NJM is proud to put policyholders first. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance.
Insurance underwritten by NJM Insurance Company and its subsidiaries.
Everyone has a fave Wendy's Frosty flavor. And when you're choosing from chocolate or vanilla, it's not that hard. But now, there's all new Frosty Swirls and Frosty Fusions. So try picking your fave from Oreo Brownie Fusion, Pop-Tarts Strawberry Fusion, Strawberry Swirl, Brownie Batter Swirl, Caramel Swirl, and Caramel Crunch Fusion. Not so easy now, huh? For a fresh way to Frosty, gotta be Wendy's. Open till midnight or later.
At participating U.S. Wendy's. Hours may vary by location. Oreo is a trademark of Mondelez International Group. Pop-Tarts is a trademark of Kellogg North America Co., LLC. Used with permission.
T-Bone and Tyvis is sponsored by Prime Sports. Receive a 100% match when you deposit up to $400. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit online at primesportsbook.com.
Summer is in full swing. If you think you're hot, well, so are your trees. You can help your trees by watering them, especially if they're newly planted. During the hot, dry summer months, your trees could use a water boost. Watering new trees a few times a week will help them survive while they're developing their root system, so don't forget about them. To find out more about watering trees or to find a certified arborist near you, go to treesforohio.org. That's trees, the number 4, ohio.org.
Got a teen athlete? Then you know putting in the hours is all part of the game. But did you know the same goes for learning how to drive? Because just like playing a sport, learning to drive takes practice. The only difference is the stakes are even higher. 50 hours of practice time driving with you? Worth every minute. Gear up at teachyourteentodrive.ohio.gov.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A little bit warmer as you're stepping out the door this morning. Some of us still might need a light jacket, but otherwise it'll be hot this afternoon as our highs soar in the mid to upper 80s with mostly sunny skies and lots of haze from that wildfire smoke that's moved in. Partly cloudy and warm tonight, and then for Wednesday, even hotter as highs approach 90 degrees with mostly sunny skies. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfolo with the 10 TV Weather Impact Forecast.
T-Bone and Tyvis is sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com.
Tyvis Powell helped the Buckeyes win a national championship. T-Bone watched Tyvis Powell help the Buckeyes win a national championship. Equally important, you're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
We got some shocking transactions in the NFL yesterday, and that's why I'm so happy to be with Tyvis this morning to get his thoughts on some NFL players walking away before the age of 30 and a former Browns first-round pick. Does it ever work when you go on a break? Like when you're in a relationship, like, oh, let's take a break. And I think that ever works, and I don't know if it's going to work for that former first-round pick for the Browns. It is T-Bone and Tyvis this morning right here on The Fan. I'm Matt Fontana filling in for T-Bone. This week he, of course, is Tyvis Powell. And we'll see Tyvis at the inaugural 97-1 The Fan, The Race, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center. It's a 5K run and 1-mile walk happening on June 21st at Otterbein University in Westerville. If we can do it, then you can do it. Some of your favorite fan personalities will be there, including Tyvis, Common Man, T-Bone, Eric Reiser, and, of course, 10 TV's Adam King. I couldn't do this, Tyvis. He's going to run the race in a suit and a tie and get it done. Every participant gets a finisher's medal, a race T-shirt, free photos, and awesome gifts from Logan Services and Raising Cane's. I would run for some Raising Cane's. Sign up today at 971thefan.com. That is 971thefan.com. So we'll see you out there on the 21st at Otterbein. It's going to be a great day with the race right here at 97.1 The Fan. So we start with the former Browns first-round pick is Jed Wills. The reports come out yesterday that Wills is preparing to sit out most, if not all, of the 2025 season coming up to fully heal. He's had knee problems with the Browns. He's missed a lot of time over the last couple of years. There's a report from Mary Kay Cabot, Browns beat writer out of Cleveland, that actually Wills had to have yet another surgery on his knee, and he's basically taking this break. And Tyvis, like, I get that he wants to get healthy, and we've seen a little trend of some of these players that have actually, some of them have retired early and kind of come back or taken some time off. Listen, I know Jed Wills is a little bit of a lightning rod in this town where, like, Tristan Wirfs used 3 picks later. And I remember that draft where it was like, do you take him? Do you take Thomas? Andrew Thomas has turned himself into a really good offensive lineman up there for the Giants. And then there's, like, Mekhi Becton, who's kind of was a bust, and he's found a career resurgence with the Eagles. And then, oh, man, there was one other lineman in that draft that turned out to be just a complete and utter bust. He went to Miami.
Let me see.
Oh, man.
Don't worry. I'm going to get you.
You got me, bro. You got me. I'm trying. I remember. He went to a school that was red. I don't know why I remember that. I don't know why.
He went to a school that
I think so. I might be completely wrong on that.
Let's see.
But it was like, it was funny in that draft for the Browns.
Jackson.
Austin Jackson, yes. Where did? Oh no, he was USC.
Yeah, USC.
Yeah, it's a USC. So it was a red. That was kind of that.
And then Isaiah Wilson was the other tackle.
That's the other one. That's the one I was talking about. He go to Nebraska.
He went to Georgia.
Georgia. That's the okay. So
there's
right
round pick to Tennessee.
That's maybe that's the one I think I might be talking about, because like I think he got cut after like a year.
Yeah, he did
in Tennessee. That's the one I was thinking of. And I remember in that draft where we knew the Browns were going to take a lineman. They needed one really bad. And the conversation was so crazy about Wirfs v. Becton v. Andrew Thomas v. Jed Wills. And Thomas was the first guy off the board. The rest of them were there. And you went with Jed Wills, and the big conversation was he had to flip positions and all that kind of stuff. And it didn't pay. He had one good year. Frankly, I think his rookie year.
I think it was his rookie year, yeah.
And then he kind of fell off after that. The injuries, and, you know, Tyvis, I don't like sitting here calling out guys for their work ethic because I don't know. You know, I'm not in there.
There we go. Now we get to it.
I have only heard things. I can only tell you some of the things that I saw when I covered the team and I was there.
Yeah.
And I think you better be really sure when you start making accusations like that. And I don't know if I'm ready to make an accusation like that, but you heard what I said, and I said what I said. So there we are. And I do say this. It's hard because it's not like it's a mispick. It's a mispick. The Browns would be 10 times better off if they had Tristan Wirfs on this team right now. Andrew Berry missed that pick. Jed Wills is trying to resume his career, and I hope he frankly does. But Tyvis, man, where would we be if they just didn't go with Jed Wills in that draft, boy? Oh, man, that's a tough one.
It is
That's
tough
so
one.
hard, man.
I mean, what I didn't like about the thing is that he played right tackle in college, and then he was coming to play left tackle in the league. And anytime, you know, you get a tackle that does that, it's going to take some time. Now, frankly, he was decent. But the thing is, we were going to judge Jed Wills or whoever that person was harder than anything because he's replacing a Hall of Famer in Joe Thomas. So he was coming into the situation in a lose-lose situation. Now, what the thing with Jed Wills is, Jed has tape out there where it's like he's just not trying, you know. And quite frankly, my biggest concern with him has always been, do you love football? Or do you just play it? Like, what is it? Because if you love the game and you're passionate about the game, some of the things that you've put on tape, like in an actual NFL game, we've never been on there. You know, there's been times he's been beaten. He's just standing there. Like, just don't even look for work. He's just standing there. And it's just like, how can you do that? You know? So last season, you know, he had the knee thing and he missed some key games. And then he had the business decision comment and thing like that. And it's just like some of the stuff that you say and you do. Like for me, And I'm different. I get that I'm different, and all athletes are different. But if I have a burning desire and passion to get back on the field as fast as possible. And for him, it didn't seem to be that way, and now you're telling me you're sitting out of games because you're making a business decision, which I think you didn't know what that meant, but you just said it. And it just, for me, it's like just stuff that you say that if you love the game, you wouldn't say these things. And I don't know, hopefully him taking this time off brings that love back. Maybe with the Browns, he just lost his love and passion for the game. And, he needs to sit out and miss it for a while to want to come back. And, hopefully somebody else gives him the opportunity and he finds that love and passion again. But I'm going to be honest with you, quite frank, he was disrespecting the game a lot by the way he was playing. And you're not going to last very long in this league if you play like that.
I also think there's such a hard part about when – you've heard players talk that I was just injured all the time. I wasn't playing the game because I was in the training room every day, and I walked into the facility and I didn't get a chance to go to the weight room. I didn't get a chance to go out to the practice because I was just walking right past all of that to go get treatment or go to be able to get my knee fixed, and it started to kind of compile on itself. Tyvis, the year off, can you do that? And I think it's hard because we do have some examples of guys. But to your point, I think that actually would be harder because you're outside of the structure of the team. You're kind of out on your own. You don't almost have that thing that's pushing you every single day to try to get better, to try to find a way to get back on the field. And especially if you already have that underlying questions of if this is going to work or not. Like, I guess it's a loaded question, but I wanted to get your thoughts. Do you think a year off, can he resume his career when this is all said and done?
What's that famous phrase, absence makes the heart grow fonder?
Correct.
Is that what they say? So hopefully for his situation, that's what it is. I know for me, like I tweeted out, what was that Sunday that I missed football? Mm-hmm. It took me, I haven't played football since 2021. So it's 4 years. It took me 4 years. And, I'm sitting here like, man, I would do anything just to get out there and play again. For him, hopefully, he sees guys go out there, maybe the Cleveland Browns. Maybe see DeJuan Jones go out there and just start doing really well. Maybe he see guys that he played with in college dominate in the NFL, and it becomes inspiring. If those guys can do that, then I was a dog. I was a first-round pick. I can do that too. And maybe his body has just broke down, and maybe he does just need the time off, to get fully healthy again. The thing is, if you've ever played football, you're only healthy for day one. After day one, you're never 100% healthy again. So for him, he needs to learn how to play with pain. It's a huge difference between pain and injury. Injury, you can't do anything. You can't perform your duties. Pain, it hurts a little bit, but you can still get it done. And for him, he needs to learn, I'm gonna have to live to learn. I'm gonna have to learn to live with playing with a little bit of pain, to be effective in this league. So, like I say, he can take the time off to get his body right all he wants, but once he gets back out there, it's just gonna hurt again. And honestly, now that I'm retired, when you sit around, that's when the injuries you start feeling all those injuries. So his best bet is to get back into it and keep his body active.
Or to your point, when you start sitting around and going, I can get used to this. Or it's
that's
not calling me back.
Listen, this man, Jed, made, according to, what is this, Spotrac, he's made,
over
what
20,
is that?
Right?
What is that, $34 million?
Yeah.
So it's not like he don't have to go back out there. I mean, he can be just like, ride off in the sunset. I made my money. I can go ahead and do my post-athletic career thing, and he'll be fine. But if you love the game, then you'll want to get back out there.
Well, speaking of that, there was a guy that said he still loves the game and wishes he could keep playing, but he can't, and he is going to ride off into the sunset. We'll talk about that, get Tyvis' thoughts on some of these athletes, the NFL guys retiring before age 30, and the one thing that Ohio State still needs to address in the offseason. We'll get to all that in just 2 minutes. This is The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and welcome to your Tuesday. Looking at our folks over on the west side, if you're making your way into the city this morning, 70 eastbound's looking pretty up to speed, as well as 40 eastbound as well. We are still closely monitoring those construction plans happening just west of Jefferson. Those areas looking pretty good this morning. And as for those in Madison County, if you're making your way out the door, 17 minutes here, US 40 east between 42 to 270. 11 minutes, though, a little bit better, 70 east, again, West Jefferson to 270. Not looking too bad for your Tuesday. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, HIMS can help. Through HIMS.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but HIMS can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Everyone has that one goal, that thing they want to prove, not to other people, but to themselves. Then, right when you think you could actually do it, cancer. And that goal is still within reach. I would know. I'm about to run my first ever marathon with my two best friends. 3 years after having cancer.
At least we look good in these shorts.
Woo! Let's get it, guys. You, keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keep making plans to learn more.
T-Bone and Tyvis is presented by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Sign up today at awaken180weightloss.com.
Tyvis has a bum wrist from playing football. Bone has a bum wrist from opening the heavy doors at Sheets. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
Yesterday got the news that Frank Ragnow, the center for the Detroit Lions, at age just 29, will be hanging it up. Unfortunately, as he put in his post, he just can't do it anymore. And the one thing Ohio State still needs to address this offseason is T-Bone and Tyvis this morning on The Fan. He's Tyvis Powell. I'm Matt Fontana in for T-Bone this morning. Tyvis, I really did want to talk to you about this, about a guy like Frank Ragnow who is basically said, I wanted to keep playing. I wanted to keep playing the game of football. I just couldn't. And at age 29, I came to the realization that as much as my mind wanted to do it, my body couldn't. And in his career earnings, had made almost $60 million, signed an extension worth $54 million. He was scheduled to make, about $9 million this year, and he'll say, they'll save that on the cap space and all that kind of stuff. But, there was a lot of posts about this yesterday in a way of how empowering it is that a lot of these athletes in the NFL are getting so much of this money that they're able to make the right decisions for them, for their family, for their post-football careers, to walk away when they can or if they need to. But it's also hard because then, the Lions are sitting there saying, hey, we thought this guy was going to be playing for their 5 years as a former all-pro type of guy. It's a tough situation to be in, but just want to get your thoughts on the both sides of the coin there of having the power to be able to walk away at that age, but it just sucks when good players can't play anymore.
Yeah, I mean, when I think about this, the person I always think of is Calvin Johnson. Calvin Johnson, I think he retired at 30. And Calvin was playing he was like one of the best wide receivers in the league at the time. And you understood why he said he couldn't. They said like he could barely walk. And that's the thing. People only see Sunday. They don't see what players look like Monday through Saturday. Some guys, they be limping, and you be like, how are you going to play on Sunday? And they somehow, some way do it. And, once you make a certain amount of dollars, so your millions, it's like you start thinking about the future. Like, if I continue to do this, like, I might have kids. I might want to play with my kids one day, and my body won't be able to do those things. So you start putting different things into perspective, Obviously, the thing that keeps these athletes motivated is a chance to win a championship. And, if you've won one early in your career or have had the experience of winning a Super Bowl, and you've made millions of dollars, you could definitely walk away, unless the only other motivation would be to be the greatest to ever do it at that position. And, for some guys, that's just not in the cards. So if you made your money and your body can't really perform and you can't do the things that you once did, then it's time to hang them up. And, there's nothing to be shamed about. Everybody's actually kind of proud of you. You're living the dream, because not in the NFLs. You don't really get to walk out on your own terms. They usually kick you out. So anytime it's your decision to leave, I always, respect those athletes the most, because that means that they put themselves in a position that, they walking out on their own terms.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It was something the Lions kind of said that we knew was on the table, where they were waiting for his decision. It's not like it came out of nowhere. There was something that was a potential, possibility there. And it is something that I think is good in a way for the league, for these guys to, like, basically, if you're going to come play, you want to come play, and you're going to be able to do it, but to have the security to be able to walk away when you need to is a great thing. And obviously health is a big part of that, playing such a violent game that football is. But yeah, that's got to be tough for the Lions to be sitting there, dude. Like, Frank Ragnow is an all-pro center, and they're going to try to replace that now, when they probably had him penciled in as their starter for the next 5 years, if not longer. That's got to be tough, but you also just got to know that that's going to be a possibility moving forward.
I tell you what, it was not a great time. I hope they drafted a center.
So it's like funny. I was reading up on it. It's like Graham. They have like Graham Glass now, who they also were kind of questioning if he might be towards the end, and then they actually had to replace Kevin Zeitler too, who left. And, dude, that Lions team, man, like Ben Johnson leaving, Aaron Glenn gone, and they got, it was another article I was flipping through. They said that they are one of the most complete rosters in football, and I agree with that. They got skill guys, they got everybody on every little bit of that defense, but there's some questions I got there. With that.
Well, you would have to see how the play calling has changed.
Yeah,
obviously Ben Johnson was doing some really clever things to get guys open and scheming guys open. So him and Aaron Glenn did a wonderful job calling that defense. So you have to see that. Now the mentality is going to be the same, because Dan Campbell drives that ship. But
sure,
is losing these linemen, because the game is always won and lost in the trenches, no matter what people tell you. The skill position is nice, but in the trenches is where you're going to win or lose a lot of games. If they didn't do a great job of replacing those guys, they're going to struggle.
Speaking of the line, article this morning from CBS Sports as well. They went through the top 25 teams in college football, and the thing they have to address for success this offseason, and it starts with, as they put them, number 1 Ohio State going into the season. And they talked about solving that defensive line rotation, for the Buckeyes. And this, we're talking about missing some guys. And it really kind of got back home for me about this overturn on that Ohio State D-line, where they just sent so many guys to the pros, and figuring out what that rotation is going to be, especially with the new defensive coordinator with Matt Patricia coming in. And they starts with Bo Atkinson, who was a portal transfer from North Carolina. He's going to be in.
Mm-hmm.
Edric Houston probably being there. Caden McDonald, who's gotten a little bit of time as well, but thrust into that starting role. And I just thought about that with Ohio State, where we're all excited to see who I think it's going to be, Julian Sayin, at the quarterback position. Some of the skill guys. You had some of that question on the offensive line, too, where you did send quite a few to the NFL there. I'm excited to see that defense. And the fact that Sonny Styles is coming back, which is great. You have arguably the best defensive player in college football in Caleb Downs. You have some experience at that cornerback position. But I do sit there and I think a lot about that D-line, where you had some big plays being made last year with JTT and Tyleek Williams. They're not going to be there anymore, and I think that's right on what CBS Sports was talking about. We're here with the Buckeyes, figuring out what that D-line is going to be. It seems so minor, yet, Tyvis, we know it can really set you up for success.
Yeah, think about just Ohio State last year and then Ohio State 2 years ago. The D-line, to me, has been the biggest difference. Yes, it was the same guys, but what was the difference is the production that you were getting out of that defensive line last year. 2 years ago, it was, we get a lot of pressures, but we ain't getting no sacks. Last year, they got a bunch of sacks, and guess what? They ended up hosting up the trophy at the end. So it's ultimately going to come down to that defensive line and that production that they can get. Obviously, you want these guys to be able to get sacks with Kenyatta Jackson, Caden Curry, Bo Atkinson, Edric Houston, K-Mac, all those guys. And for me, I really am worried about the interior. The edges, I'm cool with. The interior, Edric Houston, him being, this will be his second year. He'll be a sophomore this year, and he's got to take a big step. And then Caden McDonald, trying to replace Ty Hamilton and Tyleek Williams in that middle. Those guys, people got to understand that the defensive tackle really keeps the linebackers free because they stop those double teams. They stop those linemen from getting up to the second level and getting hands on these linebackers. And when you think about a guy like Sonny Styles is a former safety. Yes, he's put on weight, but he's not the biggest guy and not the strongest guy in the world. So getting off of those offensive lineman blocks will be very challenging for him. So that's why he needs an Edric Houston or K-Mac to hold the double team so he can free flow and make the plays on the ball. And if those guys are getting blown off the ball or those guys can't hold the double team and allowing guys to get to the second level, now you get gashed in the running game, and now you're allowing your linebackers to make these plays. So for me, the D-line is a major concern, especially if you watch the spring game. We got gashed a bunch in the spring game. They got to figure that out. Hopefully, Matt Patricia puts up a great scheme, play these guys to their strengths and just let these guys fly around and make plays.
That's my biggest thing. Talk about Matt Patricia, which I would believe is going to be an attacking style of defense and bringing some of those NFL elements to it, which is why I was really happy with that hire. The Jim Knowles stuff aside and whatever happened there, you're bringing in a guy that's got so much NFL experience, frankly, at both sides of the football, where, that's only going to help in recruiting. When you got a top defensive recruit, be like, hey, this guy's coached in Super Bowls on the defensive side. Like, he's going to help get you prepared for the NFL. And I think about what defense he can bring. It's hard because the NFL and offense is so different than college offenses and what you can do to slow it down. But I just picture that attacking defensive line. And I ask, where's that pass rush? Is that what you're talking about? Like, where is that, we're far removed from having a Bosa out there, of having a Chase Young out there, of having just a bone of a JTT even, of like a guy is going to get after that quarterback more often than not, to then allow your linebackers to make plays, to allow your corners to be able to cover down the field, not as long as they really need to. And I'm excited about it. It's one of those things. You're all nervous about it until guys really start to show up. And that's one of the things I love about college football. You go into the first couple games of the year and you're like, is this guy going to step up? Is this the guy we're thinking about? And then by game 5, you're sitting there going, all right, we got something here. This guy has stepped up like you really expected them to. And, Jackson's one I'm really looking at for sure. Like you said, K-Mac, Caden McDonald, that's another one too. But finding that pass rush is going to be a big thing for the Buckeyes, and that's why they say that's got to be the one thing they have to figure out this offseason. All right, I got to trade. I get, Tyvis, that we live in that digital, clicky kind of world. And this trade blows my mind on an NBA side of things. And there's no world that it would ever happen, so at least I have that. I'm going to be able to go to sleep later tonight knowing that this trade would never happen, but it got brought up, and it involved Donovan Mitchell for the Cavs. We'll tell you what it is. We'll get to it coming up. It's the Fan right here, T-Bone and Tyvis.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and welcome to your Tuesday. Looking at our folks over on the west side, if you're making your way into the city this morning, 70 eastbound's looking pretty up to speed, as well as 40 eastbound as well. We are still closely monitoring those construction plans happening just west of Jefferson. Those areas looking pretty good this morning. And as for those in Madison County, if you're making your way out the door, 17 minutes here, US 40 east between 42 to 270. 11 minutes, though, a little bit better, 70 east, again, West Jefferson to 270. Not looking too bad for your Tuesday. I'm 10 TV's Breen Albizu with your fan traffic.
I think I just wrote the song of the summer. Listen.
That's just you drinking a big gulp from Speedway.
And just 89 cents for any size with Speedy Rewards? That's a hit. The convenience stores of Speedway. Valid through 6/24/25. See app for full terms.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use, now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Going up.
Prices keep going up these days. It feels like being on an elevator that only goes up.
Going up.
But not at Metro. We're pushing the down button.
Going down.
We've lowered prices. Get one line of 5G data for $40. Period. That's 20% lower. And you get a free Samsung 5G phone when you bring your number. Only at Metro.
5-year guarantee on eligible plans. Exclusions apply. See website for details. Not available at Metro with T-Mobile in the past 6 months. Tax applies.
Hey, it's Bobby Carper. Everybody today in America is trying to get healthy. I'm doing it. You're doing it. There's people out there everywhere. And most people, they don't feel good. And so when you don't feel good, what do? You go to the doctor. There's pills, there's steroids, there's surgery. You don't want to deal with any of that. You don't want to be put on the shelf. You don't want to put things in your body that you do not enjoy. So here's what you need to do. Go see my friends at QC Kinetics, just like I did. My body was beaten up, so was my dad's. We went to QC Kinetics. They're not into the quick fixes. They're going to go there and they're going to diagnose you and find regenerative treatments with your own body's healing power to help heal that damaged tissue. And so you're going to feel better. You're going to be able to do the things you'll love again, and that's perfect because it's summertime. So listen, they're going to go right to the source of it at the cellular level. So give them a call at 380-208-4544 or go check them out at qckinetics.com/Columbus. They have offices all over Ohio. So go check them out today.
It's Leslie from Pella Columbus.
I'm Wilson from that other window place. Leslie, what's that hot lamp against your window for?
Pella windows are tested up to 160 degrees, Wilson, to ensure efficiency and the lowest energy bills possible, even in the craziest of temperatures. Put your hand on there.
All right. God, that's hot.
On the window, Wilson.
Oh, hey, that is quite nice and cool. So I'm going to go grab some ice now.
Get the window that Columbus homeowners rated #1 for innovation at PellaColumbus.com.
Don't sweat it. Call Care Heating and Cooling and we'll fix your air conditioner fast. 1-800-COOLING.
All your favorite and least favorite fan shows are available wherever you get your podcasts. Just type in 971 The Fan to the search bar and hit that subscribe button. It's free.
We're the land of the free and the home of the sunburnt, freckled fat guy.
Do it now.
The Home Depot has fast, free delivery on the perfect gift to help Dad do more this Father's Day. Because Dad is more than just a dad. He's groundskeeper of the yard, the perfecter of the patio, and the cleaner of the clippings. Power Dad's doing with Ryobi cordless outdoor power tools from the Home Depot, like the Ryobi 40-volt string trimmer kit for $159. For everything Dad is, find the perfect gift at the Home Depot. Subject to availability, see homedepot.com/delivery for more details.
The playoffs are in full swing, and you can get in on all the action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Tyvis played in some of the biggest stadiums in the world. T-Bone has eaten some of the biggest pizzas in the world. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
All right, insane trade. I think it's for clicks. I'll tell you what it is, and I got a question. So I'm at Matt Fontana in this week for T-Bone with Tyvis here on The Fan. And as we're going, we're learning a lot more about one another, and we have a lot of similarities. I have a question. I'm going to learn a little bit about Tyvis, and there's a reason I'm going to ask him about ghosts coming up in just a few minutes. We'll get to that as well. But Guards back in action. We got some NBA Finals. Tyvis, yesterday I had nothing to get going. Can't wait for this week. I got some sports, and there's only one place you can get those wagers in at, or at least one place you should get your wagers in at.
And that is Prom Sportsbook Ohio, because they're giving this massive welcome deposit match offer. You deposit up to $400, and they will give you up to $400 in bonus bets. But you can use these bonus bets at any part of the year. You know, they're valid this entire year. So get in, make sure you get them in right now. Right now, I'm thinking about today's action. I'm looking at the Guardians because, as you know, I'm a Guardians guy. Tanner Bybee's on the mound. They're going up against those Yankees, and right now they are plus 165. And but don't you worry, Cincinnati Reds fans, because I got y'all as well. Hunter Green is on the mound. Know you guys took a loss to the Brewers yesterday, but right now you can take the Reds on the money line at minus 126. Don't miss out on this offer. This is for first-time deposits only and can expire at any time. So hurry and download the Prom Sports Ohio app or visit PromSportsbook.com to get started. Betting reduce juice. It literally costs less to bet with Prom Sports Ohio. Want to bet? Download Prom Sports Ohio today. Additional terms and conditions apply. Must be 21 and older and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Please play responsibly.
All right, I'd place a good bet that there will not be a trade with the first overall pick in Cooper Flag and go buy a house there in Dallas because he's going to the Mavericks. But that being said, on ESPN, they did an exercise of just trying to come up with some potential trades for the number 1 overall pick. And I think the NBA, more than any other sport, you just got these locks where, for better or for worse, like we knew Zion was going number 1. We knew this was going to be a race for Victor Wembanyama, right? We knew this draft was, for all intents and purposes, going to be a race for Cooper Flag. And somehow the Dallas Mavericks won that, and they have the first overall pick. So they went through on ESPN and tried to come up with some ideas of what they could do, right? What if San Antonio gave a bunch of first-round picks to Dallas. Dallas moves down to number 2, and the Spurs could get Cooper Flag to run with Victor Wembanyama. Very interesting. Yeah. The Cavs won. Dallas would get Donovan Mitchell from the Cavs, a first-round pick, another first-round pick swap in 28, and another swap in 30. This would be a 4-team trade. The Lakers get Jarrett Allen from the Cavs. Okay. Dalton Knecht goes to Chicago, Caleb Martin, and a bunch of other picks. And the Cavs get the number 1 overall pick, Gabe Vincent, Maxi Kleba, and P.J. Washington, a couple other guys, and they get Cooper Flag. At times, I had to shut this down. Donovan Mitchell, and I think this is a bold statement in a way, but I'm going to stand by. I wouldn't trade him for anybody in the NBA. I know, listen, they're going to come in, hey, Jason Tatum, all right, he's injured. Okay, you wouldn't trade him for Luka. You wouldn't trade him for Nikola Jokic. Sure, fine. Like, I'm at a point with Donovan Mitchell. I am so happy that he's on the Cavs. I don't even want entertainment. I'm shutting it down. There's reports out there shutting it down for him, both him and Mobley, and I'm happy they're doing that.
No, I think that Donovan has done an unbelievable job winning the city of Cleveland over and all Cavs fans over. You know, he literally goes out there and he plays with his heart on his shoulder. I mean, this guy is literally like it rarely in basketball do you see guys like selling out, like doing literally everything they can to win the game. And you've watched him do that 2 years in a row in the playoffs. So I think he's stamped in Cleveland. I don't think anybody in Cleveland will want to trade Donovan for anything. If anything, the talks is Darius and Allen. That's the 2 guys that everybody pretty much wants to, trade one or both of. But I just don't see them doing this. Like that means that if you trade it, your new big 3 would be DG, Evan, and Cooper Flag, which actually doesn't sound bad, but I just don't think that right now. I feel like they're closer than what people are giving them credit to. Obviously out there losing this year to the Pacers in the second round. a lot of people are screaming, blow it up. And I don't think you need to necessarily blow up everything. I think you need to make some minor adjustments. You know, you think about OKC. OKC was in a similar situation that the Cavs were in last year, you know, where all they did was trade Josh Giddey for Alex Caruso. And that was like the biggest
Look at them now.
thing.
Yeah.
They're one of the best teams, probably they're favored to win the championship, and they're probably going to win it all. But they made one little minor adjustment on their core that they had. One guy. And I think the Cavs are in a similar situation. You know, it's been ever since Donovan's gotten here and they've drafted Evan, everybody's always said there's two things that's wrong with the Cavs. You can't have an undersized backcourt, and you can't have two bigs that can't shoot. Now, they fixed the one where Evan got a good jump shot this year, was able to space the floor out, and it allowed their offense to truly shine. But you still have to look at the fact that they are undersized at the the guard position, and that's something that you have to look into either changing, or Darius just need to stay healthy.
And it is. I'm with you. I don't want to blow up. I need a tweak. And that's where, if it is a Jared Allen trade and that comes, I'm not trying to give him away, but if the right trade comes, I'm in. And I do that. But the two untouchables, Evan Mobley and Donovan Mitchell. Like, that's just, those are non-starters for me. There's no way. And I'm sure teams might ask.
So when you seen the Evan for Giannis trade, you wasn't taking that?
People were so mad at me because they're like, what do you mean? And I'm like, and I got flack for this dude so much. I go, what if Mobley becomes Giannis? They're like, well, just take Giannis. Everybody sent me the Family Guy clip where they're like, well, it's a mystery box. They go, why don't you just take the boat? They go, the mystery box can be anything. It could even be a boat. They go, why don't you just take the boat? Yes, Giannis is a generational talent. He's that good.
This is a top 3 player in the league right now.
Yeah, just take that. Just take that guy. He could be better. And I was swayed on this. I do think you only have a couple more seasons with Donovan Mitchell, just from a contract standpoint and just with how good he is in the prime of his career and all that. So, like, that might push some different buttons for you on wanting to go all in on this now and wanting to go win a championship. And if you're going to push that, then, yeah, you find a way to maximize your talent around – I guess here's the thing. Are you going to try to maximize your talent around Donovan Mitchell, or are you going to try to maximize your talent around Evan Mobley? And right now, you'd probably say Donovan Mitchell because he is the better player. Yeah. Longevity-wise, you're going to go with Evan Mobley. But right now, you got to look at it. You got to go all in with Donovan Mitchell. But going all in would not be trading him away for Cooper Flacco. I have no idea how good he's going to be or not in the NBA. So we'll get to that coming up as well. I want to revisit that in the 8 o'clock hour. And I asked Tyvis if he believes in ghosts, because there's a story about potentially haunted items that you could have gotten out of a rock and roll Hall of Famer's house, and you could have got him on the cheap. We'll get to that story. Joe Flacco, College Football Hall of Fame ballot. It all comes your way coming up in the 8 o'clock hour right here on T-Bone and Tyvis on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and welcome to your Tuesday. We are noticing a couple delays, especially in our south and eastern part of the city here. Over to Bryce over here this morning, 70 if you're heading into the city. Looking a little bit slower than usual because of some congestion. Good morning to our folks over in the Canal, Winchester, and Pickerington area. If you're making your way up 33, taking that way to the city, we do have some slowdowns for you there. And over by Green Lawn, just before the city there, up 71, we are noticing a little bit of slowdowns, but nothing too concerning as you step out the door. I'm 10 TV's Brianne Albizu with your fan traffic.
Fan traffic is sponsored by RCD RV Supercenter in Heath, Delaware, and Pataskala, or at rcdrv.com. You had a solid retirement dream. Sell your home in a few years, bank the equity, downsize, and travel. But with an unpredictable economy and the future feeling uncertain, you're wondering if that equity will still be there when you're ready. What if you could bank that equity right now? With TrueHold, you can sell your home for its current value, so you can access your equity today. You can bank the cash now and stay in the home you love with an easy standard lease. TrueHold even covers property taxes, insurance, and repairs. And since TrueHold hands over your equity in cash now, it's yours to do whatever you'd like. Don't let a shifting economy put your hard-earned equity at risk. Visit TrueHold.com and receive their competitive offer on your home in just 48 hours, based on its current value, not what's coming. Call Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. That's Truehold.com. Need flexible funds fast? With HELOC from CME Federal Credit Union, you can get a low intro rate of just 3.95% for the first 6 months, helping you save while you borrow. Visit CMEFCU.org to learn more. Terms and conditions apply. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing lender.
Nashville's hottest band, Old Dominion, is coming to Great American Ballpark on July 10th as part of the Ohio Lottery post-game concert series. After the Reds take on the Marlins, all fans in attendance are invited to stay and enjoy a set from Old Dominion. Plus, you can upgrade your ticket to a pit field pass for an up-close view of the show. For tickets and more information, visit reds.com/concerts.
Stay hydrated. It's hot out there. So my teenage son just went out in sweatpants and a hoodie. It's 98 degrees. At least I know he'll be cool in our house, thanks to Atlas Butler. If something goes wrong, they'll fix it within 24 hours. They call it their comfort pledge. Get too hot?
My phone.
Oh, your phone. Should have known.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Another reason to choose Hinderer Motor Company for your next vehicle. This is Justin Hinderer. Every vehicle comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty, award-winning service, and our exclusive Carvenience. We pick up your vehicle, service it, and return it so you save time and enjoy peace of mind. That's Carvenience. At Hinderer Motor Company, we take care of everything so you can drive worry-free. See why we're the best choice for your next new or used car by visiting HindererMotorCompany.com.
Introducing Ice Cream Quakes from UDF. Big chunks of your favorite candies and cookies blended with real UDF ice cream. Made the way you want. Real creamy, real chunky, real. Ice Cream Quakes. New from United Dairy Farmers.
Psst. Hey, you. Wouldn't a Diet Coke at 7 a.m. totally hit? You know you can get that from Wendy's for just $1, right? Even you, girl drinking a Fanta on the way to 8 a.m. Pilates class. Any soda you want, any size, just $1. So go get that breakfast soda, you morning menace. But maybe hurry, because it's only during breakfast. Morning soda? Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours. Exclusions apply. Not valid on a combo. Prices may be higher in Hawaii.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Smalls here. It's time to turn things up a notch. This summer, don't binge watch shows. Binge s'mores by the campfire. Press pause on the podcast and press play on the warm weather vibes. Here's your chance to win $10,000 for your ultimate summer. What are you waiting for? Take your shot with 5-Hour Energy and make this summer your best summer ever. Visit 5heshot.com for full details and rules and enter today. No purchase necessary. Ends June 30th, 2025.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Buddy Wells. We'll start with baseball in the Queen City. Christian Yelich broke a 2-2 tie with a solo blast in the top half of the third, and the Brewers sent the Redlegs to their third straight loss as they beat Cincinnati 3-2. They'll go again tonight at Great American Ballpark at 7:10. As for the Guardians, they were off on Monday. They'll be in the Bronx tonight for a rematch of last October's American League Championship Series. The Guardians and Yankees will get underway at 7:05 tonight. Taking a look ahead to the next couple of days here, the Stanley Cup Final will begin on Wednesday night this week as the the Oilers host the Panthers, and Game 1 face-off is at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. And the NBA Finals will get underway on Thursday night in Oklahoma City between the Thunder and Indiana Pacers. Game 1 tips off there at 8:30. This update is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. It's great to have goals. It's even better to have experts to help you attain those goals. Experts in weight loss, awaken180weightloss.com. Breaking sports news. What happens right here on The Fan.
Two men who both know the value of a good hat.
You're bald!
This is Bone and Tyvis.
All right, I'm learning more about Tyvis. You're good on the YouTube chat, man. You haven't had goldfish in 20 years?
Yeah, it's been like 20 years since
What?
I
got bags. You have kids.
Yeah, but they don't really eat goldfish like
Really?
that. Yeah, they really don't. You know what? That's crazy. So when my daughter was in preschool, they must have given her some goldfish because she would always come home and say, Dad, the next time you go to the store, can you get some goldfish? And right up until this very moment, I have forgotten every time.
Now, selectively or on purpose?
No.
The kids always ask, like, Dad, can you grab that? And you're like, sure. Or they were sold out at the store. Sorry about that. They didn't have any more. But
while I'm sitting here saying that, it made me realize, like, wow, she's asked me for that like months ago, and I totally forgot.
You gone this far. Tyvis is great on the YouTube chat, so you got to go check it out. 97.1 The Fan. So we got to talk some Joe Flacco here. Quarterback competition up in Cleveland, and he's really have a good mindset and a good approach to how it goes. Fontana in for Bone this morning here on T-Bone and Tyvis. And want to remind everybody as well, coming up, you're looking for Austin and Berm? Well, The Beat with Austin and Berm is now streaming on the Fans YouTube channel, where Tyvis is in the chat right now as well, and the 10 TV Plus app. Download the 10 TV Plus app today on Apple TV, Amazon Fire, or Roku, and stay locked in with the latest Buckeye talk anytime, anywhere. Or you can listen to it. Just search Austin and Berm wherever you get your podcast. The Beat with Austin and Berm, now available on your schedule. So we've talked a little bit about that quarterback battle up in Cleveland, and Shador Sanders and Dylan Gabriel and Kenny Pickett. And then we get to Joe Flacco. And he sat down with Albert Breer of the MMQB last week and really did a deep dive into his mindset on where he's at. And we know with Flacco, he's in the twilight of his career. He had a really resurgence with the Browns a couple of years ago. And Tyvis, they talked about the decision for the Browns to not bring him back last year. And we all kind of understood what it was. Flacco took the team to the playoffs. The fans fell in love with him. I'm sure that locker room fell in love with him.
Mm-hmm.
And they made the decision, which I understand, to go all in with Deshaun Watson.
Mm-hmm.
Can't go all in Joe Flacco hanging around because he's going to be standing there over the shoulder. Everybody was going to ask for him to be put in. So they make that decision there to just, move on from Flacco. They bring him back, and now he's in this situation where what he talks so much about Breer is saying, dude, the opportunity for me to play, however much it is, however little it is, he just enjoys being out there and playing, and he's not so wrapped up and concerned about who's going to win this job or how much he's going to play. And I think that's really got to give him a leg up because, think about this. You're Kenny Pickett, former first-round pick, not knowing what your career is going to hold. And you got two rookies who are just bright-eyed and trying to figure out, what the NFL game is all about. I really think this mindset from Flacco is going to give him an edge in this whole thing, where I'm not going to say he doesn't care, but it's I know he cares, but he's just going with the flow, and I think it's going to help him a lot in this whole thing.
No, it allows you to play relaxed. You playing with house money. You're not supposed to be here. Nobody giving you a chance. So now you're going out there playing with no fears. You're not worried about losing the job or anything like that. You're just going out there playing football with your passion. And I think that's exactly what this organization needs right now. They need a fiery guy, a guy that's confident in his ability, that can get everybody else to believe in him. So many times at the quarterback position, over the past couple of years, as last year in particular, I just don't know how confident guys were in their quarterback, the guy that was out there, whether it was, I know Jameis said the right things, but, he also threw the picks. So that was very demoralizing. Then you went to DTR and you didn't see it from him, and then you didn't see it from Deshaun to start the season off. So at a point, it's like you lost the locker room. You know, what's the point? Guys go out there like, we ain't got no quarterback. What's the point? And I think with Joe, they have at least experienced some success there. And, you know, he talks to them the correct way. He gets these guys to lock in. You know, there's always the funny story a couple of years ago where I forget who it was. It might have been Wyatt Teller or somebody was doing something, and he, like, made them lock in when they was joking on the field. He, like, made them lock in and get serious on the field. Like, you get that type of thing, and that's what this organization needs. So I think Joe is perfect. He's right where he belongs. I'm still not saying Joe's going to go out there and finish 17 games. I don't think that's the case, but sure. I do think that he can at least show the younger guys, you know, how to command the offense, how to talk to these guys, how to get these guys to lock in, how to see the field differently. You know, Joe Flacco's been one of the best play-action quarterbacks we've had, you know, under Kevin Stefanski. You know, maybe he can show them the correct way to do it, how he's so comfortable with putting his back to the defense and still being able to, you know, come back around and still throw a ball down the field with no fear. You know, I think that's something that a young guy would appreciate. So Joe is perfect for the situation right now.
He also wanted to kind of, I want to say set the record straight, but he talked more about the teaching of the young guys, which is exactly what you're bringing up there, Tyvis, about it kind of came off like when he said, that's not my job, you know, about the mentor role and being one of those guys like Josh McCown. Every place Josh McCown went for the last 7 years of his career, he's like, well, I got to try to teach up Johnny Manziel. Like, good luck, man. You know, best of luck. But like Flacco said, he goes, it's not really my job. And he kind of corrected that when he talked to Breer last week, when he said, I'm also not going to shy away from doing those things. He said, it's not my job, but it's not that I'm not going to do it. Double negative, and I apologize for that. But he goes, like, I'm just going to do what I do. Those guys will learn from what I'm doing just by watching me do it. And if they have questions, I'm going to help them out. And if they need help with something, I'm there to do it. So he's focused on winning the job and hope that that'll just kind of like, you know, bleed over into teaching the young guys and even Kenny Pickett on how he does things and how it figures out. And it's only going to help the Browns. Like, listen, I understand the situation they're in. I'd love to have an established quarterback be the guy for the Cleveland Browns. I'd love to be the Cincinnati Bengals where you know it's Joe Burrow. You know when he's on, he can be elite, and you don't have to worry about it anymore. That's not the situation they're in. So we're trying to make the best out of what is, frankly, kind of a bad situation right now. Whoever starts, there's a reason for each that I'll get excited about. I think it's going to be Flacco.
Well,
and I think
what's the reason for Kenny Pickett?
That's good. Okay, you got me on that one. Dude. Okay, here's what I would talk myself into, right? Is this. You got me. You did get me on him. It's like the rookies, I'm like, dude, I'll talk myself into the rookies. Flacco, I think, can win games. I think the intrigue on Pickett is what? He did win games in Pittsburgh, albeit with some defense and with some guys that he had a really solid team. But, you know, he didn't turn the football over all that much.
Yes, he did. He had, one more touchdown than pick?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think one, right. The ratio wasn't all great. But he also, if they're going to just run the football, which is what like Joel Bitonio was talking about yesterday at the Browns golf outing, whereas they're going to run the football, they're going to go back to what Stefanski's offense was a couple of years ago, kind of before Deshaun Watson, then like Pickett might be able to fit into that. You don't need him to do all that much. And he can just kind of be in there. But I will give you that probably. I think he's last on my list of guys that I get excited about.
I think if you get excited about Kenny Pickett, I mean, you're hoping that he can be the Sam Darnold or the Geno Smith where he was a first-round talent. And, you know, with Kevin Stefanski, he was able to say something to him that helped him understand the game of football better, and he just has a breakout season. Or you could get excited to see Kenny Pickett and say he's not going to be good, which means that we're going to get a really good draft pick and be able to get a good quarterback next year. So those are the things that that's the two things people think about when they see Kenny Pickett out there.
Yeah. All right. We got to get to a college football Hall of Fame ballot is out. There's a Buckeye with a chance to get in, and I'm going to go rapid fire with Tyvis. I'm going to run through each of the notable names to do it, including a big change on the coaching side to try to let a legend in. We'll get to it coming up. It's the Fan right here. T-Bone and Tyvis. Stay with us.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. We are noticing a crash that just popped up on our system. This one happening just south of Bexley. 70 West, just beyond US 33. A left lane is blocked out there. 2 cars were involved as police head to the scene. Noticing a little bit of delays. Taking a look at our traffic cameras here. 70 at west of US 33. Not looking too bad, but a little bit slower than usual for your Tuesday commute. I'm 10 TV's Breen Albizu with your fan traffic.
Legend has it, underneath the NJM insurance offices lies a mysterious room of long-forgotten, moldy mascot memorabilia. Often pitched by ad agencies, always rejected by NJM. Is it real? We may never know. But what is real is NJM's dedication to doing what's right for their customers. Astoundingly, they're proud to put policyholders first. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. Learn more at njm.com.
Insurance underwritten by NJM Insurance Company and its subsidiaries.
When you're starting a home improvement project, a few big questions always come up. Who can I trust? Will they be there if something goes wrong? And lastly, how much is this going to cost me? At Newman Roofing, we've been answering those questions for over 30 years. As a family-owned and operated company that takes pride in every aspect of the job, with family members involved in each department of the company, we treat your home like it's our own. That means clear communication, no shortcuts, and a white glove experience from start to finish. And when it comes to cost, we get it. That's why we offer flexible financing options so you can get the quality your home needs at a price that works for your budget. Don't just take our word for it. With over 700 5-star reviews on Google, families across Central Ohio are sharing their Newman Roofing experience. For roofing, siding, and gutter solutions built around family, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF, or visit online at newmanroofing.com. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.
This is This Date in Reds Baseball with team historian Greg Rhodes.
On this date in Reds Baseball, well, we're going to take a little detour today and note an important date that has nothing to do with the Reds. But on this date, June 3rd, back in 1888, an historic moment in the popular culture of the national pastime. The first publication of a poem by Ernest Thayer in the San Francisco Examiner. The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville Nine that day, the poem began, and within a few years, as it was performed on theater and vaudeville stages throughout America, every baseball fan came to know the tale of Casey at the bat. First published on this June 3rd, 1888, this date in Reds Baseball.
This Date in Reds Baseball is brought to you by the Cincinnati Reds Hall of Fame and Museum, presented by Dinsmore. Celebrating greatness, preserving history, providing inspiration.
What John Smiley, Chairman and CEO, wants you to know about First Bank of Central Ohio.
Our competitive advantage is the number of years we've been in Central Ohio and the fact that we're able to make decisions here locally that make sense for the client. At the end of the day, it's the ability for us to say, okay, what can we do to make your banking easier for you?
Experience what it's like to be first at fbcentralohio.com. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Guess what? Our ugly faces are on YouTube. Search 971 The Fan and watch all your favorite shows. Laptop, phone, tablet, smart TV, we're everywhere. Bring us in the bedroom with you. Yes, The Fan.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is, fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you if you could simply take what you wanted and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, rental portfolios. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Call TurboTrack Realty today for an all-cash offer and speak with one of our friendly staff members at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Partly cloudy skies to start and a little bit warmer than yesterday with wake-up temperatures in the 50s. For the afternoon, we'll get in the mid to upper 80s with mostly sunny skies and haze from that wildfire smoke. And then tonight, partly cloudy with overnight lows in the 60s. You'll definitely want to stay hydrated Wednesday as highs approach 90 degrees with breezy winds and mostly sunny skies. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 TV Weather Impact Forecast.
T-Bone and Tyvis is sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com.
Tyvis is drinking a protein shake for breakfast. T-Bone is eating a protein donut, minus the protein. And it's more than one donut. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
You got Matt Fontiana with you this morning in for T-Bone. I can't wait to talk with Tyvis about the latest ballot for the College Football Hall of Fame. Names are on it. Coaches are on it. And we're going to go rapid fire and ask if Tyvis thinks each of these players, including a former Buckeye or a current Buckeye, still is on that list. We'll get to all of it coming up. But, Tyvis, I know you're feeling good, man, and there's a big reason that you're feeling as well as you are.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I want other guys around the world to feel as good as me. But there are some guys that struggle with ED, erectile dysfunction. Stop putting it off. For a limited time, Tri-State Men's Health is offering the first appointment with a provider absolutely free. No strings, no copays, nothing out of pocket. Free 99, as the kids would say. Your free appointment includes blood work, a medical consult, and a test dose of the medication if medically advised. If you've been avoiding intimacy, dodging your partner, or just feeling off, don't keep living like that. Oh, why would you want to do that? You can get your performance back, and the first step costs you nothing. What are you waiting for? Tri-State Men's Health has treated thousands of men, and now they're back enjoying their relationships and feeling confident again. You could be the next one, but you've got to take that first step. Your performance matters. Your appointment doesn't cost a dime. Tri-State Men's Health treatments work when the pills and herbals fail. They have treatments with success rates well over 90%. Some treatments can have you lasting an hour or more. We call that standing up in it. That's what I say. Tri-State Men's Health has 6 locations. There's 2 in Columbus, quick exit off of 270 in Hilliard. And the other one is near the Medical Mile in Westerville. That's the one that I go to. Schedule a consult with Tri-State Men's Health today. That includes blood work, a consult with the licensed medical provider, and if medically advised, a test dose. Call them today at 800-900-9654 or visit tristatemenshealth.com.
So we got the ballot released yesterday from the National Football Foundation, who handles the College Football Hall of Fame. 79 players and 9 coaches from the football subdivision, and then over 100 players and 35 coaches from the lower level. So this is how it kind of works. On the college side of things, coaches at one point had to have a winning percentage of at least 600 to be considered for eligibility. Now, that's going to change in 2027 when they're going to drop it to 59.5%. That's going to allow the late, great Mike Leach to be eligible by 1.01 percentage point for him to be able to be eligible. He unfortunately passed away. He probably would have gotten above the threshold anyway, but unfortunately passed away, so they'll be able to get him in. For the players, though, their criteria is this. You had to have been a first-team All-American on an All-American team that is viewed as one of the ones for consensus. So we always hear about unanimous or consensus. It's got to be one of the All-American teams that are viewed for consensus by the NCAA. So as long as you're on that, eventually you will become eligible. It's got to be 10 years after you're done playing, and then within a 50-year of you being done, you're on the ballot. So there's a lot on there, and it was interesting, Tyvis. I looked it up last year. Dude, there was 19 that made it just in last year's class alone from players. So there can be a lot that got in. And I'm going to go rapid fire with you here. So we start. There is a former Buckeye, and it is James Laurinaitis.
First ballot.
You got to be, right?
First ballot. This is not even, don't miss this layup. That's easily.
So then we go to some Heisman Trophy winners that are up. Mark Ingram, Cam Newton, RG3.
Yeah.
All of them?
Yeah. I don't have a problem with any one of those guys.
All right, a former National Player of the Year and the first D lineman in 15 years to be a Heisman finalist, Ndamukong Suh. He's got to make it, though, right?
Oh, my gosh. Ndamukong Suh? Yeah, easily.
All right, here's the other players. Iowa's Brad Banks, Colorado's Eric Bieniemy, Oklahoma State wide receiver Dez Bryant, running back Kijana Carter, Aaron Donald, Pitt, Marvin Harrison Sr. out of Syracuse, Laurinaitis we talked about, Oklahoma's Josh Heupel, of course, the head coach now, Ryan Leaf out of Washington State, Marshawn Lynch, Simeon Rice out of Illinois, and Peter Warrick, wide receiver out of Florida State.
Warrick ain't in there by now.
That's right. I don't know how he's not. And there's a wide gap there of Aaron Donald and then Kijana Carter. I feel like they got to be separated by at least 10 years. Ryan Leaf certainly 10 years.
Yeah,
they're there. They're still kind of on the ballot, and once it goes, so this how it goes.
Ryan Leaf ain't in either.
I don't, and them letting them in. So it's like they take this list, then they go to something that's called, I think, the DCS, which is like a committee that takes the number and gets it down to 60, and then they send that 60 out to the voters, and there's like 1,000 voters on this thing. So it's like pretty wide on how you get it. We know the Heisman's got thousands of voters too, but they got a lot. And then I believe it's once you hit a threshold, you're in. So, yeah, there's a few, on the coaches on the ballot, like Larry Coker. How is he not in? He won 2 straight national championships. I'm shocked that he's not in on the coaching side of things. Gary Patterson, all-time winner at TCU. Yeah. Chris Peterson. Boise State, Washington got them to the college football playoff. Him, I'm like, yeah, but Larry Coker, 2 straight national championships, I don't know how he's not in already, to your point about some of these other players.
They make it hard, don't they? Some of these guys, I get from a professional standpoint, like NFL, no. Yeah. But college-wise, yeah, these guys absolutely dominated the game. It makes me. I hope Urban don't have to deal with this. He should be the first ballot.
I don't think he should. And I was thinking about that of first-team All-Americans, for the Buckeyes in the 2010s, and we're getting close, to some of those ones that are going to be eligible coming up here pretty soon. And I would think, again, it's probably Zeke, probably, here's the thing, and I know, obviously, I'm Ohio State bias. I think of Braxton Miller.
Oh, yeah.
And I think of what he was able to do. Well, he doesn't have, he was on the national championship team, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he was there.
He was there.
He didn't play that. He didn't play that season.
That's right. That was interesting. That's right. He was out with a shoulder injury. That's right. And then he went to wide receiver. But I think of how many Big Ten offensive player accolades he racked up and everything that he was there. And it's different when we talk about the college Hall of Fame. But I think about names that were just synonymous with college football. And I would think the Buckeyes got a couple coming up. But, back to Laurinaitis, who's on this graphic, here, I got to pull up. I got to give people, not that everybody here listening probably doesn't already know most of this for him. But here's what you got for Laurinaitis when he was a player, right? Lott Trophy, Butkus Award, won the Nagurski Award, 2-time Jack Lambert Award, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year in the Big Ten, a unanimous All-American, a 2-time consensus All-American, and a 3-time first-team All-Big Ten performer. Talking about James Laurinaitis, I mean, he's got to be, and there's no way, right?
Yeah, it's like I said, that's a layup. I don't understand why they even sitting here messing around with that one. It should be everybody else that they need to look at, but he should be solidified.
He should be. Again, national championship as a coach now, not when he was a player, but as far as his individual accolades, should be done and done. So the voting will come out. We'll see kind of how that rolls through.
You said it's 16 that make it? Or is it no?
That was just last year.
Oh, there's no set number.
I don't think so. Because counting on the radio is a terrible thing, but give me a second here. Let's go back to 2024. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 made it in 2024.
Oh, yeah. I like his chances.
Yeah, I would say so. Like, and then 2023, it looks like there was about like 12, maybe 15 on that. So it's pretty wide.
Yeah.
You know, it's pretty wide on how it goes.
Between him, the Cam Newtons, Mark Ingrams, RG3, like I like those are like no-brainers.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And then again, on the coaching side of things, I think Larry Coker's got to make it. Eventually, they're going to get Mike Leach in there as well. So it'll be pretty good. It'll be fun to see and a great accolade there for Laurinaitis because I think we both agree. I think he's going to make it. All right, I teased this question a while ago. I'm going to get finally back to it. If Tyvis believes in ghosts. Now, you said you like the Conjuring movies.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe that a spirit can overtake an item? Because there was something that happened with a Hall of Fame rock and roll artist. He might be possessed in your house if you went and showed up at this thing. I'll tell you exactly what it is and what items you could have bought from him. It all comes your way coming up in just 2 minutes right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and welcome to your Tuesday. We are noticing yet another crash in the southeastern side of the city. This one happening just north of Groveport here. US 33 West at I-270 South. The right shoulder is blocked right there because of a crash. Not noticing any slowdowns, though, so that's pretty good news for your Tuesday commute. I'm 10 TV's Breen Albizu with your fan traffic.
A Progressive Home and Auto Bundle can protect you round the clock, but we can't protect you from those painful moments in sports.
Why would we trade our best player?
Well, at least you got to watch him in person when he was here.
I named my only son after him.
So you'll always remember his name.
Yeah, but what do I do with this jersey?
Luckily, the company has a great return policy.
I wore it for 6 seasons.
Well, at least your home and auto are protected with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
All power, zero compromise. Eagle cordless outdoor power equipment features advanced lithium battery technology that exceeds the power and performance of gas without the noise, fuss, or fumes. From mowers and trimmers to blowers and pressure washers, one battery powers over 90 tools. No wonder it's the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Power beyond belief. Visit egopowerplus.com to learn more or to find an Ego retailer near you. That's egopowerplus.com.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
T-Bone and Tyvis is presented by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Sign up today at awaken180weightloss.com.
All of the hair on their heads is slowly migrating to the lower part of their faces. And cracking. This is T-Bone and Tyvis.
So a lot of times people like to get, collectibles and memorabilia, and it's big in the sports world. I guess it can also be pretty big in the music world because over this past weekend, they had an estate sale for Tom Petty, right? Legendary rock and roller Tom Petty, and he passed away several years ago. Tyvis, they were selling some weird things at his Malibu home. I'll tell you what they are and the prices, and it's just, if you believe they would be haunted. Welcome back. T-Bone and Tyvis. I'm Matt Fontana in this week for T-Bone. He's Tyvis, pal. So number one, I got to ask, I know you said you like the Conjuring movie. Do you believe that spirits can, manifest in an item? Like, if you went and bought something from Tom Petty's home, are you worried that Tom Petty will, come back to your home or, he's somehow in your home in some way? Are you buying it or no?
You know what's crazy is that I don't buy it, but I wouldn't buy the thing to find.
You don't want to mess with it. You ain't buying it, but you don't want to mess with it. You and I, dude, I am
just in case it is true.
I don't want to be the one to find that out. I do not want to be the one to find that out. Because you buy something, and what are you doing? You're inevitably just trying to impress people in your home.
Yeah.
To be like, hey man, that used to be Tom Petty's. But here's some of the weird things that people were buying at Tom Petty's estate sale. So there was a YouTuber that went in, and apparently this line was around the block where they were only letting people in 25 at a time to go through his home. Now, I'm sure there were some people that just said, hey, I want to go just to go into Tom Petty's house and, like, say I was in his house. But, like, any estate sale, you could have bought Tom Petty's bath towels for $10. Have you ever wanted a pillowcase that Tom Petty slept on? $10. Would you like a cookbook that Tom Petty may or may not have used? $15. You could have got Stanley tumblers for anywhere between $20 and $24. Like towels and linens and a wooden box and cabinets and picture frames that were in Tom Petty's house, ranging from $5 all the way up to $2,500 items that you could have gone through in, and people were going in and buying this. And, like, that's sort of just, I think the weirdest thing for me would be to sit there and say, like, hey, you know that bath towel I left you out because you're staying at my house? Hey, it used to be Tom Petty's.
So they had all the no guitars?
That's what I said. I was wondering,
if anything, I want the guitar.
You would think the guitar and like something, I don't want to say cool, but would you really go there and, like, buy that to say, like, yeah, that was Tom Petty's towel?
No.
Use that one.
No.
Okay, who would be the person? Doesn't have to be a musical artist. If there was somebody that you could go to their estate sale and buy a cookbook or a table that was in their house, do you have somebody in mind that you would actually get in line to go in their house and buy something that used to be theirs?
Yeah, like Michael Jordan or somebody like that.
Okay, yeah, something like that. I was trying to rack my brain. I don't know if I have a good answer for that.
You wouldn't go get Michael Jordan's table?
But, like, to do, like, to resell it? Get back in the collector side of things, or just to have something in your house and people come in and go, hey, it used to be Michael Jordan's table?
Yeah, like that. It would have to be like it's a conversation piece. That's kind of what it is. Like, you would like maybe not a table, maybe like he had like a bobblehead or something that was his or something. Like oh yeah, that was Mike's. And people walk in and say, oh, this is a nice bobblehead. Yeah, I got it from Michael's house and stuff like that. Kind of what it is.
I picture like a garage. Like, we all been to a garage sale before. And you pick through and you find some, like, you know, hidden gems, or if you're a flea market type of person out there. And that's my dad's retirement gig, by the way. My dad retired a couple years ago. He just likes going to flea markets. He sets his little table up and he throws some stuff out there. He always walks around. He enjoys it. It's awesome. But, like, I think about going to that, but it was Tom Petty stuff. And I'm sure there's big Tom Petty fans out there. I really, even like sports, you know, athletes, and some of my favorite bands, I don't know if I have a good answer of somebody that I would wait in line to go in their house and try to buy a pillowcase.
I mean, the good thing about this is it's not like it's $100 or $200, but it's $10. Like, yeah, that's why it's like, all right, like, just to say you had it, I guess.
But like, that's so weird to do what, like, you know, to hold on to it, and then
maybe they probably gonna sleep on it.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, what if Tom Petty comes back and he's like, "That's my pillowcase. What are you doing?"
Taking it right off my pillow and handing it to him.
Could you imagine him standing at the end of your bed, just staring at you? Oh, yeah, that was my favorite pillowcase. Everybody got a favorite pillowcase.
Like, I got you here. You want it back?
Do you want it back? Do you want it? It was like the doll in The Conjuring. There was a thing in the doll. They were in the house.
The Annabelle doll.
Right, Annabelle. And it's not a guitar. It's not like it's a guitar pick. It was literally linens and cookbooks and chairs and a wooden box and cabinets, and they're selling it off from the Tom Petty estate sale, going through that. And you can get a pillow. They had foam pillows. Used, by the way. You got to be a super fan.
Used.
To be like, I'm going to go take a used pillow.
Yeah, the person probably did. Whoever bought it is not going to wash it.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Oh, you're right. You're like, no, I got to hold on to this.
I got to sleep where Tom Petty slept.
Can you imagine that too? And if you're like a big fan, they're just hoarding this stuff. Like, they just have a cart. I just picture a cart filled with stuff and people pushing it around Tom Petty's house saying, I had to buy this. All right, Rusty needs to know, do you know who Tom Petty is, right?
Yeah, musician.
Okay,
yeah.
That's what I was just making sure. That was in the YouTube chat over there. I was just making sure. That you knew. And here's the thing, like, my uncle is a giant Tom Petty. Is that okay? Let me ask you this: my uncle's a huge Tom Petty fan.
Okay.
Is that an awkward gift? Like, let's say that I went and I got
and went ahead and bought him something.
A pillowcase, right? I'm hooked on these pillowcases. $10. $10. I had to wait in line, but I got in there and I hand him over a gift, and it's wrapped, and he opens it, and it's a used pillowcase, not even in the wrapper. It's not like I went to Bed Bath & Beyond and got him a new pillowcase, and I handed it to him, and I said, "This isn't just a pillowcase. This is Tom Petty's pillowcase."
Yeah, I would look at. I'd burn it.
So you look at me
I'd
like,
look
what?
at you, and I would say, "Excuse me." I would be like, yeah, go ahead and put that right in the fireplace.
Yeah, you do the awkward, like, gee, thanks, this is awesome. And then, like, by the end of the night, you're like, yeah, this is not entering our home.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all. Take this, as a matter of fact, I appreciate the gesture. Take this with you.
We're going to move on from the Tom Petty pillowcase. But, yeah, I saw that story this morning, and I thought it was so funny that they just the fact that they even had an estate sale for like a guy like Tom Petty, and you see the garage sales, and it's just like people down the street,
they make
and
a
all
quick
that kind
money.
of stuff. I'm sure they were, and it's like when it's no different than anybody else that when they leave stuff in their house, they don't need it anymore. You know, he passed away, and I'm sure the family goes through. And they take anything that you want, anything that you want to keep that's sentimental to you, or it means something to you.
If you as big time as Tom Petty, when he passed away, all of his family, cousins he ain't talked to in years, they all went over there and ran through that house to grab some stuff.
But it was funny because, like, I was also thinking, like, you're right. Like, what if it was like Michael Jackson? You know, or what if it was somebody like that?
Man,
that huge, massive.
I feel like you would have to buy it, like because it's Michael Jackson,
dude. And there's so many things that you see like in a collectible world. Like I follow Darren Ravella on social media, right? And he's formerly ESPN, and he's in the collectibles business now. He's got his own company, and there's some like the other day they had a lock of Elvis Presley's hair, and I get it because it's Elvis. What do you do?
What I'm gonna do with the hair?
You just want to sell it. You just want the value to go up. But he's got like checks. You know, here's a check from Prince that he wrote for whatever an expense, and you got that. You got used gum.
This is like
people.
Is like Adrian Woj when he retired, or he selling like his phone that he broke news on or something.
Right,
but like the phone doesn't work.
It doesn't, but you got his phone. Why? Just because you got it, I guess.
Yeah, see, like no, and people was bidding like over $1,000, and I'm just like. No,
there's some eccentric people with some money that would sit there and be like, "Nope, I have to have this."
It doesn't even. I don't even think it cuts on.
No, it probably doesn't.
Well, what do I want with that?
Like you said, here's the thing: if you went to somebody's house and you're chilling in their basement, you're having a cocktail, you're hanging out, and they come over, you want to see something really cool, and you're like, "Sure," and they're like, "This is Adrian Wojnarowski's phone." Would you look at it and go, "Wow"?
No.
I'd be like, that's cool. I'd rather have Tom Petty's pillowcase, to be honest with you. But like, okay, that's cool. Like, all right, fine. It is what it is. But like, yeah, I wouldn't look at it and be like, "Oh man, that's really cool." You buy that stuff you buy that stuff for two reasons. You either assume the value, you look at it like a stock, and you think that value is going to
go up,
skyrocket, and you can sell it and make a profit, or you just want to show it off to people.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, I'm not a show off guy. Give me the bobblehead.
Yeah, that me neither. That's one that I don't really get, but it is what it is. So if you missed out, I'm sure you can go find it on eBay. A bunch of pillowcases and linens and bath towels that were in Tom Petty's house, and he might or may not have used at some point in his life. All right, we're gonna get a little preview of Bishop and Friends coming up. And I mentioned an insane comp for Arch Manning that Joel Klatt had. It's high praise. We'll see Arch against the Buckeyes coming up this fall. We'll get all of it. T-Bone and Tyvis right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and welcome to your Tuesday. We are noticing yet another crash in the southeastern side of the city. This one happening just north of Groveport here. US 33 West at I-270 South. The right shoulder is blocked right there because of a crash. Not noticing any slowdowns, though, so that's pretty good news for your Tuesday commute. I'm 10 TV's Breen Albizu with your fan traffic.
Did you want information on the Ohio Lottery's Easy Play games? Okay. Easy Play games have everything needed to play printed on the ticket, so you never wait for a drawing. And with Easy Play Progressive games, they can instantly win the game's jackpot, which oftentimes grow and grow to over $1 million. All lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly. Want another commercial? Okay.
That's are us. When dreams don't end, that's are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 380-225-BATH.
That's are us. When dreams don't end, that's are us.
Hey, it's Bobby Carper. Everybody today in America is trying to get healthy. I'm doing it, you're doing it. There's people out there everywhere. And most people, they don't feel good. And so when you don't feel good, what do? You go to the doctor, there's pills, there's steroids, there's surgery. You don't want to deal with any of that. You don't want to be put on the shelf. You don't want to put things in your body that you do not enjoy. So here's what you need to do. Go see my friends at QC Kinetics, just like I did. My body was beaten up, so was my dad's. We went to QC Kinetics. They're not into the quick fixes. They're going to go there and they're going to diagnose you and find regenerative treatments with your own body's healing power to help heal that damaged tissue. And so you're going to feel better. You're going to be able to do the things you'll love again, and that's perfect because it's summertime. So listen, they're going to go right to the source of it at the cellular level. So give them a call at 380-208-4544 or go check them out at qckinetics.com/Columbus. They have offices all over Ohio. So go check them out today.
I think I just wrote the song of the summer. Listen.
That's just you drinking a Big Gulp from Speedway.
And just 89 cents for any size with Speedy Rewards? That's a hit. The convenience stores of Speedway. Valid through 6/24/25. See app for full terms.
Get your air conditioner fixed fast. Call Care Heating and Cooling, 1-800-COOLING.
Introducing Ice Cream Quakes from UDF. Big chunks of your favorite candies and cookies blended with real hand-dipped UDF ice cream. We'll say that again. Real hand-dipped UDF ice cream. Pick your flavor, pick your mix-ins, or try one of our featured recipes. And get an ice cream quake made the way you want. Real creamy, real chunky, real. Ice Cream Quakes, new from United Dairy Farmers.
Much like a vampire, we need to be invited into your house. But once we're in, we never leave. Listen to The Fan on your Alexa or Google Home smart speaker. Just say play 97.1 The Fan and prepare to be amazed. Do it now.
Get tickets now.
Look, I got a dog.
To the movie event of the summer.
You sure that's it, though? Yeah.
Rough. This Memorial Day, the summer starts with Stitch.
Adorable little psychopath.
Disney's Lilo and Stitch, rated PG. Parental guidance suggested. Now playing only in theaters.
Gain a global perspective and specialized skills that many of today's top employers are seeking with an MBA from University of Maryland Global Campus. Study online and complete your degree in just 16 months for about $21K. Choose from MBA specializations in global business, marketing, HR, finance, and more. Classes start June 11th. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Patriot Air Comfort Systems and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep your home comfortable. The Fan.
Both of these men played sports in high school. Only one of them was good at it. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
That also, I was okay. I was not as good as Tyvis was in high school. I played football, I wrestled, that was it. But I was shooting Tyvis, so that does fit today here on T-Bone and Tyvis. Matt Fontana in for T-Bone this morning and this week. We got to get to the buzzer and an insane comp for one Arch Manning. We got the buzzer first to get to it.
Shove it down your throat.
It's time for the buzzer.
Sponsored by Getchy's Amish Country Furnishings in Dublin. AmishCountryFurnishings.com.
All right, Eric Greaser joins us. Of course, you can catch out Bishop and Friends coming up in a little bit. Eric, we were talking about Tom Petty and the estate sale. Do you buy that there could be spirits in physical items, and would you want one of those said items in your house?
No, I assume that everything's haunted if it's being passed on by someone who has also passed on, and that's why they're having the estate sale.
That's it. You gotta raise a little bit of cash there. I get it, and I just think it'd be weird to have like Tom Petty's towel just sitting in your house or his pillow or something like that. He shows up. But I didn't think about this. What if he does show up in your house? Then
get out of my house, Tom Petty's ghost.
But you could then sell that as like proof of the afterlife and proof that like you wouldn't be able to charge $10 a pop to get people to come into your house if Tom Petty's ghost was in there hanging out.
You know, yes. People,
it depends on the neighborhood.
It's some crazy people that would love to be like, really? Because you know what would happen? You would say that, and then nobody would believe it. So they would have to come see if you're lying or not.
Right. They'd have to show up. You'd have to move out, though, because like your house would just turn into a museum or again.
Yeah, now it's an attraction. Like I'm just trying to go to the bathroom, and I got people waiting to see a ghost. Like Tyvis, in your neighborhood, it absolutely would not play.
You don't think?
No. Nobody would want anything to do with your house.
They would come check it out.
No, they for like maybe for 5 minutes and then be like, all right.
Yeah.
That was good.
I just want to see if it's real.
Right, but it's your house. You've still got to live in it. And now there's no interest in it.
Oh, well, no, I'm leaving. I'm going to just tell everybody, like, if you want to see Tom, just go in there, lay on that pillow, and he will be there.
Could you imagine a Zillow listing? That they're like, oh, a spacious, colonial, 5 beds, 3 baths, brand new air conditioning unit, and it's haunted by Tom Petty's ghost. Up that value. Like, we're already talking about home values going through the roof as is. Add that little sprinkle in on your Zillow, and you'll have somebody be knocking on your door. 2 seconds. You can buy a house Tom Petty's in. Speaking of accolades there was a high one from Joel Klatt, as last week he gave a comp to Arch Manning of Trevor Lawrence. And guys, listen, like I get that Trevor Lawrence was one of the biggest things. You know, we were talking about high recruits earlier, Eric, and the best recruits of the past 21st century. And like, you know, Trevor Lawrence was up there, you know, natty, all that kind of stuff, NFL game, not maybe quite where a lot of people thought it was going to be. But last week on The Herd with Colin Cowherd, Joel Klatt said that as he watches Arch more, he just says the strong arm, the accuracy, and all that. And it's hard because Arch has not played a lot. So to sit here and say, like, he looks like Trevor Lawrence, I mean, that's a high mark to be given out to a kid that's barely played.
Yeah, the thing about Arch is when he got in there, yes, he looked fine, but it was against not great competition. So, like, I don't really know what to expect out of him. It will be interesting to see what they do against the Buckeyes. I'm not willing to go Trevor Lawrence, route. First of all, I wouldn't really want the Trevor Lawrence comparison if I was him, maybe on the professional standpoint, because he has not panned out so far professionally. But college-wise, he was a really good quarterback. And I guess you would think Arch is going to be that because he's with Sark, who's a really good play caller, probably, the second best play caller in football. So, yeah, I guess you would think that would be, but I don't know, man. I don't believe in giving people praise until they show me first.
I'm with it. And I look at it and I just say, too, he has not done very much, number one. And number two, in a draft that is supposed to have all of these quarterbacks and everybody thinks he's going to go, there's some people that like quarterbacks ahead of him already. So that's why I don't know if I can get on board with Trevor Lawrence, who everybody knew was going to be the first overall pick. Had all these things behind him. We don't even know if Arch is going to be the first quarterback taken in next year's draft.
Well, Eric wants him as a Browns fan.
Sure don't. Sure don't.
You know what? You don't want.
We're not sure he'd be the first quarterback.
Haslam loves the Mannings.
Great.
You don't want to have Arch
Can I get
Manning.
Peyton in his prime again? Can you
no.
flux capacitor that for me?
That'd be nice.
You don't trust Kevin to.
Sure don't.
You're an anti-Kevin Stefanski
Sure don't
guy,
trust Sure don't trust the guy making the picks either.
Well,
so
I can't argue on that.
We're not necessarily in the best spot to look at an Arch Manning who's probably not even coming out next year.
Yeah, that's true too.
And I always say this, Matt, and you've probably never heard me go off on this tangent, but in the Cotton Bowl, college football semifinal game, if Quinn Ewers, he underwhelmed in that, if Arch Manning was that much better, you've got an opportunity to win a national championship.
Right.
Why isn't Arch in that game when Quinn Ewers underwhelms?
I'll give you one more comp to Quinn Ewers. Wasn't everybody kind of saying the same thing about Quinn Ewers? like he was on that list as one of the highest recruits ever.
He was like the perfect recruit. And did you see that pan out on the field?
Yeah. And it's so different because you're right on Tyvis too about the play calling there at Texas, but they lost 2 receivers to the NFL draft. Like they've lost some pieces there that, it's Texas. They recruit well. They'll get it. I think college football is better when Texas is good, but that's a tall task for Arch, and we're going to see it. We're going to see it. It's one of the exciting things that I have for that Ohio State-Texas game is we're going to have all that hype, with Arch coming in. But, yeah, he's basically a rookie on top of the parents thing, which, like, Tyvis, you mentioned it, the Haslam's, the Tennessee connection to Peyton and how much they really kind of like him there. Like, you want to mortgage your future of your multi-billion-dollar franchise just because you went to the same college as this other guy and his nephew's in the draft? Like, I don't know if I'm pulling the trigger quite on that one yet.
Oh, we know that they're not. I think y'all are right. I don't think Arch Manning is coming out. They're going to draft somebody like Lenore Sellers out of South Carolina, or are they going to really butcher this thing and get Drew Aller because he's from Ohio? Medina, I think.
It could have, yeah, Medina. It could happen. E, what do you guys got coming up here on Bishop and Friends in a little bit?
So on Tuesday, we'll talk with Uncle Dom at 10:30. We'll have John Breach of CBS Sports come on at 11:30. He had an interesting factoid about Saquon Barkley and the curse of the Madden cover. Plus, what the hell the Browns are going to do juggling 4 quarterbacks at OTAs. And we'll play The Real Truth at 10 o'clock.
Love it. All right, catch it up. Bishop and Friends coming up, following us right here on The Fan. Eric, really appreciate it, man. First time talking to you. I appreciate you, bro.
Gentlemen, it was a pleasure.
There you go. So, all right, Tyvis, we got to a lot on today's show. We covered Tom Petty. We even talked Tom Brady earlier because we were talking about the Madden curse. We got it all. You missed it, you can go back to The Fan on the YouTube page. It's all there for you to check out and get the show, 97.1 The Fan as well. For everything, I appreciate it, dude. I'm excited for tomorrow's show as well. We're going to have a lot of fun then as well.
Oh, we're going to have a great time for the rest of the week. It's been great working with you these past couple of days, and now I got to get my hair did.
Oh, good luck.
So when you see me tomorrow, ace bandage Tyvis.
Everything for Tyvis today. Send him some good thoughts. We'll get that done. Bishop and Friends comes your way next right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Noticing a little bit of slowdowns as you approach the metro this morning, particularly on the west side. 40 looking good as you're heading westbound there, but 70 westbound a little bit slower than usual. Taking a closer look at 70 and east of Wilson Road, our traffic camera there. Noticing a couple of bumper-to-bumper traffic there. Nothing too concerning, though. No major accidents to report as of now. I'm 10 TV's Brain Albizu. Make it a great day.
Hey, you. Wouldn't a Diet Coke at 7 a.m. totally hit? You know you can get that from Wendy's for just $1, right? Even you, girl drinking a Fanta on the way to 8 a.m. Pilates class. Any soda you want, any size, just $1. So go get that breakfast soda, you morning menace. But maybe hurry, because it's only during breakfast. Morning soda? Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours. Exclusions apply. Not valid in a combo. Prices may be higher in Hawaii.
You know that thing you've always been too scared to go for? It seems like you'll never have the guts. Then a cancer diagnosis. And doing that thing becomes way less scary. I would know. I've always wanted a black belt. And today, the only thing standing in my way is a few wooden boards. It's been a lot of hard work and 5 years since I beat cancer at Ohio Health. Bring it on. You keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keepmakingplans to learn more.
When you're ready to sell your car, another reason to choose Hinderer Motor Company is the easy, fast, fair, and hassle-free way to sell. This is Justin Hinderer. We pay top dollar for your vehicle, whatever the make or model, and no purchase is necessary. Consider trading and get even more toward your next vehicle. Drive in today and leave with cash, or get a great deal. See why it's a pleasure doing business. Just visit HindererMotorCompany.com.
I'm an old school Joe, and my philosophy is simple and effective. At the end of the day, it's not what you win or lose, it's what you save. And bet and reduce juice at Prime Sports Ohio is the way to save money on every single bet. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit up to $400 in bonus bets. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Spring is here and it's time to refresh your yard with Ohio Mulch. With 15 convenient locations in Central Ohio, it's easier than ever to get your mulch ready for the season. Need it delivered? No problem. Save $50 on home delivery when you order online. Whether it's mulch, soil, or even stone, we've got your yard covered. Visit OhioMulch.com today and spruce up your garden with the best.
Ohio Mulch, landscape supply, cleaner, greener, better.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Ever wonder where your go-to maintenance person gets the metal products they need to fix yours and everyone else's problems? The best in the business go to Metal Supermarkets for their wide variety of metal products and shapes to tackle projects from simple to complex. Metal Supermarkets is your source for all metals cut to size and ready fast. No minimum order with maximum service. Visit the family-owned franchise on North Wilson Road or at Columbus at metalsupermarkets.com.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. It's that time of year where your cooling costs are going to go up because you're trying to cool off your house, but the air is escaping out of your inefficient windows. So get them replaced with Window Nation's efficient windows that'll help you save money on your heating and cooling bills. Buy 4 windows, get 4 windows free, plus a free entry door when you purchase a house full of windows. No money down, no interest, no monthly payments until 2027, plus a lifetime warranty from Window Nation. 866-90-NATION to get your estimate today or windownation.com.
Summer's here, and seasonal businesses are hiring. Everything from hiking guides to surf instructors and more. Whether you're hiring for one of these roles or any other role, you need ZipRecruiter to find qualified candidates fast. ZipRecruiter's smart technology gets to work as soon as you post a job, diving in to find great matches and showing you top picks right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/USL to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/USL.
The playoffs are in full swing, and you can get in on all the action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available